damn it.
She's so rude.
You are very unprofessional.
I will hit you in the face.
Oh my god.
Ring, ring.
Abuse!
Stop sabotaging my stream. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, Simps and Virgins, and welcome back to Krown's magical Prohibits Cave.
The Prohibits Cave is back and ready to go as we get our first little pullback after the big bad move to Bitcoin's new all-time high, baby. New all-time motherfucking high at 68,000 and some odd change as we get prepared for the next week or two to come in this very, very, very nice November going on right here. Anyways, with that said, I do want to wish everyone nice and healthy and happy day. I am dealing with a severe lack of sleep right now, if you can't tell, but it's all good. I got enough coffee to wake up a fucking elephant, and it's going to work. It's gonna work today. Just need to survive one day, get a workout in, and it should be all good in the hood, because this fucking time change is just god awful, man. We don't need this. We don't need this anymore. Daylight savings times, go fuck yourself. We need to just keep things nice and steady. That's exactly right. Get those circadian rhythms right on and going around. Anyways, with that said, I think it's time to get into the Krown application now, which we found at app.krown.net. And of course, it's 100% free. You can find a link description below as well. And I would like to wish you the best and the happiest. I almost forgot to do that. Holy fucking moly, man. Oh, that would have been a terrible day. But we do have several things going on right here. We do see Bitcoin dominance going up almost a full percent from yesterday to today at 43.5%, which we have been saying, look, this 42.5% region is very likely, if we are going to see a mega rally right here, very likely the next macro low on Bitcoin dominance. So I am going to be generally pretty damn bullish on altcoin Bitcoin pairings. However, probably not versus the US dollar pairings. Whichever way Bitcoin goes, altcoins will very likely follow in that direction. But the Bitcoin pairing, I imagine on most of them, maybe not all, in fact, certainly not all, but the strong majority is not going to be faring all that well. Whenever Bitcoin does roar in these macro sort of rallies, typically doesn't end too well, as altcoins have a difficult time keeping up with Bitcoin. Anyways, let's get into what else we can see over here on the top end dashboard, of which Fear Ingredient Index is at an 84 right now. So we are starting to creep up here, obviously, but because we are within the context of, a long-term, in my opinion, macro rally, we do expect this to get a bit higher before it does become problematic, and it can also stay there as well. In fact, I'll show you on the charts what we've seen in the past when Bitcoin is in its essential rally mode, the old bull mode right there. As far as top 10 best coins go, we got Loopring, IOTEX, never heard of that one before. Live Peer, also never heard of that one, up 21.15%. However, Cardano, Zcash, Litecoin. Zcash and Litecoin going up. Just wait for Ripple to start going up as well. And then we got real problems. Quant, Stellar, Hedera, and also Near Protocol all on the winners list. Pretty good gains right there, and into the market data tab we'll go. In fact, I do want to go directly to the Fear Ingredient Index on the chart format right here. Just kind of show you what we could be looking at. So in past rallies, namely the one actually started about just a year ago to the day, in fact, November of 2020, that is, that old year. Anyways, what do we have over here? Well, we saw it get into the greedy zone, into the severe greedy zone, even higher than where we're at right now at also between about 87 and as high as about 95 for about a couple months straight, actually all the way from November to early January, of which time we did get our first correction. And then when Bitcoin did put in around its highs at the $6,000 territory, we did see about a month-long stint in the much more greedish zone. So I do expect that Bitcoin, while we are, on the macro territory here, bullish, it is very likely to see very, very high levels and consistently for a bit of time. I do think that this can stay there longer than you do see, of course, the extreme fearful zone. Typically speaking in markets, the lows are put in a lot faster than your highs, just for what it's worth. Anyways, with that in mind, let's go back here to the first data tab, because there are several things to be following up on yet again. Global funding rate is stuck at that 0.035% region, so it is trending up here. We expect to see this. Of course, financing will go up when, essentially the market is more or less bullish. Makes sense, obviously. But where does this become concerning? Well, just like we saw on the Fear Ingredient Index, similar to that, I want to see it consistently above about 0.1% for, at least a few days on end. And even then, that very likely marks off some local highs, not necessarily like macro highs, although at some point, we will get a macro high. Obviously, this thing isn't going to go for fucking ever. At some point, it will reverse, and, well, it's going to be absolutely nasty. But for right now, enjoy, as we do see the leverage ratios at new all-time highs yet again, baby. Global leverage ratio at not 1993. That lack of sleep is really kicking in right now. And of course, the global open interest is also at new all-time highs as well at 16.36 billion with a B. Quite high, you might say. So we do have a lot of leverage positions on the board. We do see a lot of people going with the double top narrative right now. I do think that obviously that was consistent with our short-term pullback, which I do very much align with. At least that's what I've experienced in my own trading career. However, as far as the macro goes, I almost never ever see double tops or double bottoms that hold up on the macro scale. It almost always leads to continuation. I can certainly count less than 5, but I suspect there's probably less than 10 ones that I've seen in my history on the macro scale. We're talking like 5-10 years down the road, shit like that, because I'm referencing stock market right now. Anyways, with Bitcoin, I don't think we've obviously never seen a double top like ever, like ever on the macro scale. So could this be the first one? Potentially yes, but probably not in my opinion. Anyways, into the price action charts we go. I do think that this is relevant to get into immediately right here. And let's start it off with our short-term analysis from yesterday's video, of which I think we were working off this chart perhaps, or was it this chart? No, it was this chart. And we did say that, hey, we hit our $68,500 target from the days prior, coming out of the prior, I wouldn't say macro base right here, but daily base out of that ascending triangle. So we had a measured move plus the 1.618 Fibonacci extension right there. Pullback is to be expected. That's what we said yesterday. All momentum oscillators are down, or at least downside angled on the short-term timeframes right here, like the hourly as long as below $67,000, like the buy hourly as long as we're below about 67,500, and the 4-hour is also headed down as long as below 68,200 as well. However, contrary to what I believe a lot of other people are looking at right now, I do not look at this as super problematic for any of the higher term timeframes. Obviously, this is very likely just going to set in a higher low first and foremost. What am I going off of to generate this? This is one of my favorite setups of all time, actually. It's not, okay, maybe not of all time, although I really do like this one specifically in Bitcoin land, and it has to do with the Bollinger Bands right here. Anytime you see this, it's not a guaranteed setup, but it does have a pretty damn good edge, and from my own back testing, the success rate is rather strong. It's a little bit above 80% actually. Anyways, what is it? Well, first and foremost, we did close our first girthy green dildo above the top side Bollinger Band on the rally on Monday. I believe that was the 8th. And then obviously yesterday we said, hey, look, we did hit our targets, very likely come and pull back a little bit, set in some higher lows, consolidate a little bit more, scare the shit out of some people, and wash out some of the over leveraged longs, the late longers, of course. And I believe that's what we're doing exactly right now. So I am looking for continuation here as long as Bitcoin is essentially a closing daily dildos, especially above $66,000, but I'd even go as far as saying now $65,000. So as long as Bitcoin is above there on a daily closing basis, probably even a 12-hour as well, I am looking for this to essentially reaccumulate here on the short-term timeframes. Very likely set in a higher low, which we do not have just yet, by the way. We do not have just yet, even on a fucking 4-hour. So this could very easily come down to like 65.5, for example. But ultimately, I do look at this as very likely a continuation setup right here. For typically speaking, your first pullback after a major breakout like this on new highs, on volume, on volatility, which is also denoted by our BBWP expanding over here on the daily specifically. We did see exactly what we wanted to see with this, with getting above the moving average and also getting a positive slope on both of these babies after consolidating for quite some time. I do look at the first pullback as typically, a lot of the time, a little bit more than 80% as going to be that next sort of continuation pivot. Anyways, with that in mind, again, this will be negated. This will be invalidated with any sort of a daily closure, especially below $65,000. I'd even go as far as saying $66,000 would be concerning. Anywhere below yesterday's low on a daily closure. If I'm looking at a 12-hour, I would be concerned with a 12-hour closure below 65,250 specifically in this case. Until then, I do look at all of this as a short-term sideways reaccumulation, and very likely Bitcoin does try for a higher low. Perhaps not necessarily exactly where we're at right now. I do think that things could very easily come down to about 65,500 or so. I think it's a little more obvious, especially on CME right here. This one, this is not a low right now for what it's worth. And I would be just looking ever so slightly at the 21 on that case. Of course, there is a premium on futures over spot price action right now to the tune of about well, actually, this is delayed, so there's no premium at all, according to this. But I suspect that it's about $300, which was consistent with yesterday. So that would, kind of equate to the same areas. I think the hourly also gets this one rather easily as well. If you're actually looking at the hourly, should kind of be looking at this current area as a potential higher low as well. I'm certainly open to that possibility. But what I'd want to see is all the lower term time frame momentum oscillators kind of turn up in succession with each other, of which we do have the hourly right here. Let's go to CME actually, as it is Wednesday, but still, good to do. Anyways, hourly will turn back up up above 66,900. Bi-hourly will turn back up above 67,600, and 4-hour will turn back up against above about 68,600. So again, I don't think that we've necessarily put it in just yet. I do think that Bitcoin probably spends a little bit of time here and then very likely carries on with the rally Thursday, Friday, if it is going to happen. So this is kind of a more immediate play, a more immediate setup after a little bit more of a short-term pullback and perhaps sideways here. And again, big problems, well, I wouldn't say big problems, like, hold on, I need to kind of temper my own language here, not to get carried away. And I do have to remember that I am a bit underslept, so I can definitely start to lose my articulateness. Not that I have too great of a, not that I have a too great of mastery of that anyways. But again, you know, where does this one start to fall apart? Daily below about 65. 12-hour below about 65,200, or 4-hour. Could we even use a 4-hour in this case? Below about 64,500 in this case. And yes, I would be looking for a correction down if those conditions are met, somewhere down around about 63,500 to 64,000 bucks. So we are talking about, you know, a couple $1,000 move minimum, and perhaps even continuation lower. If that were to happen, that would be concerning. I don't think it's happening, but that would be my conditions for that. And as long as Bitcoin does not break below those levels, I do still stick with my generalized targets and on continuation to the upside here, which would be next leg up on the daily is going to be somewhere around 73 to 75,000 bucks essentially. At that point, I would be looking for a more prolonged consolidation within those regions. Maybe even Bitcoin comes back down and tests around 68,000 bucks, assuming that those targets are hit to begin with, and then we'll move onwards and forwards from there. But for right now, you know, I still do like this for what it's worth. And if we go into momentum oscillators over here, obviously CME is following through as well. We did get the daily jewel signal on the 8th. No, sorry, the 5th. Oh yeah, that was Friday of last week. Interesting. And then of course, I want to remind myself on the medium and higher term timeframes that things are still more or less good over here, as we do see daily Stokes cross the upside from yesterday's video. That condition was fulfilled and will remain continuous here as long as we're closing above 64,400. On spot price action, a little bit different, as it would show 64,150 going to be the major pivot for that. Now, I do want to bring this up as well, and this is actually going to supersede a lot of things on the higher term timeframes here, and that's going to be the 5-day on CME specifically, which I absolutely love this as a time frame, just for what it's worth. I absolutely fucking love this one. It seems to get things really, really well in crypto land, specifically with spot price action, and to a lesser extent CME, although CME does work generally well as well, I should say. Anyways, for CME, the 5-day is going to be closing later tonight at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, I do believe. And what do we have going on right here? Well, if we do close anywhere above, especially this high right here, which is about 67,700. So we are, you know, quite far away from it right now. That would look extremely good for continuation to those next $73,000 to $75,000 targets, probably within the next 5 to 10 days. You know, we're looking like a week to 2 weeks out, something like that. If we do close below, it's certainly not a death sentence, but I would want to again be cognizant of the failure points, the invalidation points that we spoke about earlier. Buy daily is also going to be closing today as well. Definitely don't want to see it close like that. That would be a little bit concerning. And I think for spot, we're also closing it as well on spot. And this looks, you know, a lot more healthy, I suppose. Perhaps a little bit better on the Krown band charts over here, as we do start to see this contract a bit, which is actually rather interesting. And then of course, 5-day for spot price action is not closing today. It's closing tomorrow. And if we do close above the top side Krown band, well, that's going to be my next sort of continuation signal on the higher term timeframes. I wonder if CME has the same sort of condition potentially available as well. It does, but we're not necessarily close to the resolution of that. That would have to close today above 69,000 bucks even. So I do think that spot has a little bit better of a chance of doing that, as it would just need to close above 66,300, essentially, you know, hold this $65,000 region short term, and then, well, give another short term rally as we do lead into these very, very important closures, in my opinion. For what it's worth right now, this still looks, you know, more or less good to me, and I don't really have anything, you know, majorly concerning, again, especially as long as we're above that $65,000 level on a daily closure in this case. Below there, I do look for greater retracements. However, I would not necessarily get bearish. There's nothing really bearish for me on this chart for the higher term timeframes, as long as Bitcoin is above $60,000 even. That is actually a major area to go onwards and forwards from here, as Bitcoin did spend a little bit of time consolidating right there. And well, that's essentially all that I have to be looking at right now. I should probably talk about what I would be looking for if Bitcoin were to crash back down below 60,000 bucks. I don't think that this is happening, but I suppose it would be a good thing to prepare for if it were, if you know, because anything is possible, obviously. I would be looking at that point for a move down. at minimum to 52 to 53,000 bucks actually. Very likely a bounce around there on the weekly, and then we'll judge, after that. But again, I don't necessarily think that that's what's happening. Just if that were to happen, that's kind of how I'd be interpreting it. At least for right now, I look at all of this as good. Even the PMAR over here, I really, really like this signal, and it does kind of show that, well, when we are looking at, major tops, we typically expect to see this get into the 90 percentile regions or more. In this case, we are currently just at about 74, which is, high, obviously, but this can go onwards and forwards here a little bit more, obviously. Anyways, I think I've spoken my face off right there. I apologize for that. I know it's fucking annoying. I got some rat hairs going on right now, which is good, and I should turn on the alerts. And let me actually turn on my, I forgot to turn this back on. I haven't turned this on in a while. What? Oh, can I pin your net? Did you just put it in? Okay, let me just pull it up. All right, I'm waiting for Elsa to pin the message, sir. Takes a little bit of time for it to pop in here because for whatever reason, it does take a little bit of waiting. What's up, Nimbo? I see you, brother. Justin Young, good morning to you as well, my friend. There they are. What's up, Matsy? Fuckro, there he is. Kevin Gaslium, what's up, man? TD, hello, sir. All right, where is it? Where is this fucking message, man? There, up. Okay, things are coming in a little bit more. Burnt Creme, hello. Philson, I see you, brother. Philson, it's been a while, sir. There we go. I found it. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's pin this up. Something that no one's going to read, but it's all good because it makes us feel better anyways. And let's get into the chats over here. Yeah, Cameron Perkley, yeah, man, I actually banned you myself. I didn't know it was you, but the reason why I banned you is because we don't, like, you can't be spamming your fucking Discord invites in our Discord, man. We don't know what it is, and a lot of the time we just assume that it's it's like malicious. So obviously I'll unban you, but do not do that again, please. We kind of have like a zero tolerance policy for that, and also just like when people like spam their links or try to promote their own like shit in our Discord or YouTube videos, like we're obviously gonna take action on that. All good, man. I'll unban you actually right now. Let me just see what yeah, your name C Perk. Yeah, man, I can tell you though, I absolutely fucking hate pineapple. No, I don't hate pineapple, but I do hate pizza. I do hate pizza, man. It's disgusting. All right, what was it? There we go. Okay, I just unbanned you, sir. You're all good to go. You can rejoin, but yeah, man, please don't do that again. Because if I won't ban you, someone else certainly will. So just stay safe with that, man. Anyways, you're looking at Cardano. Yeah, we can follow up on that. I did say that Cardano was put in a bit of a bear trap yesterday, and am I still sticking with that today? Yes, indeed I am. I absolutely love this setup right here, similar to Bitcoin actually. And we should actually record this one. Here we have Cardano, symbol ADA versus the dollar. And what do we have? We do have a closure above the topside Trollinger band, also above our bear trappy area from yesterday's video on volume. And I really quite do like that. So I want to go over here and check out how volatility is starting to expand from right now, and then judge it with momentum oscillators as we do go to the daily. This one has phenomenal wicks because, well, it's fucking Cardano. And what do we see right here? Yeah, volatility expanding. It is above the moving average. We do have a positive slope on this as well. I do think that this is quote unquote the move. Daily Jewel still showing some upside here. And while this will come with an invalidation condition, very obviously put below about $2.08. 8 cents on a daily, that is. As long as we're above there, I do look for this one to trade sideways and outside out of its current range. Now, with that in mind, short term, I do look at about 238 or 230 or 237 as a bit of a short term top side of this current range. Above there, I do start to look for this one to really, rock and roll all the way up to probably 270 to 280 or so over time. Overall, though, the chart is I do think it's kind of showing some signals right here. Let's just see what it looks like on a 5-day on momentum oscillators. And yes, tomorrow, this is not relevant for today, but tomorrow, if it can close above 230, I'd feel quite confident saying that it will retest around those prior range highs. Daily is also up as long as above 205. So again, be aware of the invalidation conditions, but overall, I do think just a little bit similar to Bitcoin in the short term, but it's sideways here. As long as you don't crack back down below the invalidation, I'm looking for that one to try again onwards and upwards, and hopefully that was helpful for Cardorpio. What's up, the real G squared? No question, but on behalf of man, it's all good, man. It's all good. It always feels like it always feels like a selfish endeavor, because it is a selfish endeavor, man. Like, while I do appreciate the thanks and and all the gratitude and everything, I also want to spread it out as well. Because look, I'm getting a lot from these videos as well. I mean, for one, when I started doing these, in 2018. I'd already been a professional trader for a while, and I was doing pretty well. But after doing these videos where I had to, kind of explain my thought processes over the internet to people who might not, might just be beginning and start to have to re-articulate things to find out if they make sense or not, I started to get a much greater understanding of my own strategies and whatnot, and my own trading actually improved a quite fair bit. I mean, even just a few percent improvement adds up to a lot over time, man. So, it's selfish altruism, man. That is the way that I truly believe that the world has to be, because you need to, one, do what's right for yourself, but also do what's right for other people. And that way everything can be interconnected and it's good. At least that's what I think, until I take some more thought-provoking substances and figure out something better than that. Anyways, what's up, Donald Woodward? Thank you for, hey man, all good, brother. Mind looking at PVR. I think we looked at this one yesterday and it was either not on TradingView or it was one of these. Yeah, it was one of these. Okay, and I think it was bullish. Yeah, and it is bullish. However, I still actually like it right here. I would be looking for a bit of sideways and down. However, short term, looking for this one to come back down to 0.005, whatever the fuck this number is. If it can do something like this will look generally good. But I think at best right now it's trading sideways and down, consolidating within this fashion right here. I would turn to, I wouldn't say bearish, but looking for this rally to unfold with a move back down below this pivot right here, which is your lows from 6th of November in this case. Until then, anywhere within this range is generally good. Volatility contracting into what I presume to be probably another higher low is going to be looked at as generally good, just going to take its time, obviously, as it's gone on quite the run there. And I mean, can't hate that chart. Obviously it's outpacing Ethereum. Let me just finish off this shitty convenience store coffee that I had to get on my way here. Jesus, man. Wow, holy fucking moly, man. Well, I couldn't carry two in my hand, so I had to buy one at the supermarket and then one at this convenience store as I was walking back. Fun times, man, fun times. Anyways, let's see what else we got. Okay, Mark Hutchins, welcome, man. Good to have you in the cave, and pleasure, man. Absolutely great. Joel G says we won't be virgins for long in this market. Oh man, if you haven't been getting rammed by the market gods recently, then I don't know where the fuck you are, because this market is absolutely brutal, even in its upside moves, man. One of my good friends, I don't know if he's listening right now, but he'll know exactly who he is, and probably other people will as well. I actually really like this guy. He was, I have to quote him with just one of the greater statements, in that in a bull market, who gets liquidated the most? Typically longs, as well. Gotta find liquidity somewhere now, don't you? Anyways, yeah, man. We are all virgins of the market until it pulls down our pants and gives us the old ramming. Chris Velux, definitely, maybe French, I don't know. Please look at Wilder daily and guess on the next 3 months if possible. I don't think that's okay. First off, what is this? I'm just going to type it in here. All right, so it's this. Next time, a ticker is good. Ticker is good. Guess on the next 3 months. Okay, I'm going to guess that this thing has no history. Oh, what do you fucking know? It's been around for 2 months. Wait, September, October. It's been around for 2 months. I had to count them out because I'm American. I don't know my months. And you want to guess? Okay, guess, terrible word to be using in trading. And also 3 months, so longer, literally longer than it's actually been around. Look, man, if we're talking about 3 months away, we need to be looking at minimum a fucking weekly, and preferably like a bi-weekly or a monthly. In this case, is this chart helpful? Am I getting anything from this? Absolutely fucking not, man. So the reason why I tell you these things is not because I'm trying to down talk on you and shit on you. No, the reason why I tell you these things is because I won't give you an answer for what question you just asked right there. I can tell you about the short term because we do have a bit of a short-term history here. However, the problem is that you're probably going to go around the web, looking for the answer, right? And ask someone, and naturally someone's going to, come up with a fucking great answer for you, which is either going to fulfill your expectations, meaning that you are going to be inclined to believe it, or they're going to tell you what I'm about to tell you right here, which is there's no way to fucking do that, man. Unless if you literally have insider information on something like this, there's absolutely zero way to do that. I can tell you that like with force. Now, short-term timeframes, are we looking good here? Yes, absolutely. I would be bullish on this thing as long as you're above 350. Below 350, I look for a correction down to 275. Until then, consolidations above 350 is generally good and very likely leads towards, I guess in this case, new highs. If I had to guess, just doing some bad mental math here, somewhere around about $5.50 to $6. Assuming that level does hold. Does that happen? Like, can I forecast out into 3 months? No, I can't even forecast the same fucking day, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Again, be careful with that, man. Be very, very careful with that. And again, hopefully I do say that in a more respectful tone. Again, I am a bit underslept, so I need to remind myself not to get too excited, because I know that I can get a little bit crazy when I don't have enough when I don't have enough coffee. No, when I don't have enough sleep, and that's definitely been happening several times this week already. So apologies for that, and apologies to all the new people here as well, as I do see a lot of new people here. Which, hey, you're more than welcome to be here, but I suspect that you're probably coming over from other channels, which is great. We want to be welcoming. We want to have open arms, but also understand this place is a little bit. Well, it's fun and maybe not as family friendly, unless if your family is like, unless if you got a fucked up family, man. Depends on the family. Are you very close with your parents? Maybe not. Anyways, some guy says, Luna in the near time. Do we hold 50? Whatever other time frames work too. Cheers, Jackson McDougal Skeeterson. Hello, Jackson McDougal Skeeterson. Nice to meet you, Mr. Skeet. Anyways, what exactly was that again? Luna. All right, yeah, let's go back to Luna over here. I forget if I actually posted a video on this one yesterday, but I still like it, man. This is still fun. Anyways, the question is, do we hold 50? I don't think that 50 is the major area to hold. The major area to hold is 47 or so on a daily closure, for what it's worth. Anyways, as far as Luna goes, I'm gonna like this chart. Generally speaking, again, as long as above about 48.5 on a daily closure, I do like it, and I do favor it for general continuation of the upside here. Lower term time frames, really don't want to see it come down below about 47.5 on a 4-hour closure. That would be concerning as well. So whichever time frame you prefer, that's kind of how I'd be angling it in this particular consideration here. 4-hour time frames, do we see any sort of hidden bullish evidences starting to format? Yes, if it can put in a higher low right here. However, it will not be put in a higher low as long as it's closing 4-hour dildo, especially below about $51.5 to $52. So that would be the short-term hurdle in my opinion. However, all higher term time frames are generally good here in my opinion. So again, be aware of the invalidation, but I'm not going to hate this chart. It is rather aggressive, though, I will say. But looking at our momentum oscillators, I do think that it could go a bit more. I do think that this market generally has one more leg over the next month or two. Anyways, Marcus Etheridge says, can you look at Webjet on ASX? A ticker would be massively helpful, but I'll just type it in here and pray to the gods. I guess this will be it. ASX. Okay, so we have an Australian. Anyways, looking at this, what time frames we're looking at? Daily and weekly. Okay, weekly does look like a bit of a short-term reversal. Daily, we see the same thing. Yes, yes, and I do like this one actually for the reversal as long as it's above about $6. So that would be invalidation. I like the contracting volatility into a nice consolidation around the highs of this rally thus far. Now, where would the next sort of areas of interest be to the upside if this one does continue? Actually, this one rather simple, right around here at about 735. I guess I've looked at this one before as well. Until then, short-term downside moves are completely fine. Just don't want to see the invalidation hit. If the invalidation is hit below about $6 on a daily closure, then I would be looking for this one to come down and correct towards 550. Big problems on the macro scale, however, below about 5.25. So do be aware of that long-term. But I don't know. Just looking at the higher-term timeframes here, I do think that it pulls through to the upside for what it's worth. Just, well, nothing's guaranteed, obviously, but I think the setup is there. Momentum oscillators are more on the bullish side than not. What's up, Micah? Mana. Yeah, let's definitely look at Decentraland. This one, very popular recently, for good reason as well. I heard that they had, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm just reading like the wrong comments or something like this, because, you can never trust YouTube comments, right? But I think someone said something like they partnered with Facebook or Meta, whatever the hell. Nowadays. Anyways, I'm going to record this one. Here we have Decentraland symbol MANA versus the dollar. I think we've been making videos on this one for the past week or so for good reason. Very, 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 very powerful move here on volume, consolidating at a very high level as well, and that does show strength actually. So let's pull up our drawing tools from yesterday's video, and I still do think that there's a potential for one more drive lower, somewhere around about 220 to 2.25. But I'm generally bullish on this thing as long as it's closing dailies above $2. So below there, I would start to unravel the long-term picture on this one. Until then, any sort of price action, especially below about 220 and our $3 high right here on the short-term consolidation is very constructive and very likely does lead towards long-term continuation. How long can this consolidation take? Well, I do want to see daily BBWP kind of work off its extreme conditions over here. Looking at the short-term timeframes, we do see this kind of already happening. In fact, the short-term timeframes even already have a higher low right here on the 4-hour with hidden bullish evidence and momentum oscillators popping back up. So I'd still be looking for this one to trade a bit more sideways within this range. Just keep in mind where the invalidation is, and a 4-hour closure back above about 305 in this case, I would look for this one to reclaim its prior range highs all the way up to 369. Above 369, things look very, very good, not just because it's a great number, but also because it would imply continuation to next target would be about $4.50, and then I might see a little bit of toppy behavior right there. Personally speaking, I do think that this one would probably make a move more long term. Now we're talking like a few weeks down the road to $5.50 or so. But I just want to see what it looks like over here. If this one's kind of more ready right now or a little bit later perhaps. Yeah, 4-hour stocks already popping up above 255. So short term, I would be favoring some short term upside, yes. Daily will actually pop back up above 264. You know what? This one might actually be a lot more ready than what I'm giving it credit for. I just want to see it start to pop back up above this region right here. That would look really, really good. Other than that, and actually the daily will have hidden bullish evidence here as well, as we are making lower lows on RSI alongside higher lows on price action. This is still one of the better setups in cryptocurrency land. Very, very nice on mana. Even 12-hour already has a hidden bullish evidence, so nice one right there. Hopefully that's helpful, and there you go for Decentraland, sir. Sean R, what's up, man? You are thick like gravy. Thanks, man. I'm trying to lose weight and not be such a fat fuck, but thank you. Feeling thick, bro. Feeling real thick. You're delish, sir. Okay, now I'm scared. Super again. Sorry, man. It's all love, sir. Super again, Binance 4-hour and weekly, please. Sure. Let's pull this one up. This is Leo Trades coin right here. And we've been pretty bullish on this one, and this one's consolidating around the highs as well. Now, we did not get the continuation drive that I was probably talking about yesterday towards the 220-ish region. We got pretty damn close, it looks like, about 211, 212. Close enough is close enough in this case, but short-term timeframes obviously consolidating right here. I do think, similar to a lot of other things within this market, it could very easily come down a little bit more towards the 160 to 165 level. However, as long as you are closing even 4-hour dildos above, I guess it's actually more like 155. Sorry, I stand corrected right there, although this should naturally move up somewhere right around about 160. So I will temper that statement and say 160. As long as it does remain above there, I do look at this as a healthy consolidation sideways within this range. Below 160 problems, as I would be looking for it to retrace down to 140 to 145 region. Until then, higher term timeframes, I imagine, are working off some pretty extreme conditions. Yep, we see the same thing on BBWP right here. Another good insight in the BBWP. Look at where we hit, 95 percentile. Once you get to 95 percentile or more, that's where I typically do see, some local highs get put in. Not to say that it's going to be a macro high. In fact, personally speaking, I do think that this one on the next break of $2 on a daily closure, I'm looking for it generally to move up short term to 220 and then long term towards $3. In fact, when I look at the other higher term timeframes, I really like this one actually. Yeah, I really, most things in this market are kind of getting a free ride to their May breakdown levels. And I suspect that this one's probably, among those as well. Just short term, a bit more corrective here. We go down to like the very low term time frames, like an hourly. Yeah, just trading sideways. I just want to see some higher lows somewhere above about 160, and that would look good. Until then, a bit more sideways here and above 160, good essentially. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go, sir. What's up, Ben0613? Hey, Krown, can we look at XCAD? Sure. XCAD, okay, we got it right there on Kcoin. Kcoin. Actually pretty good, and I believe we looked at this one yesterday as well. Let's see, did we have any areas of interest here? Yes, indeed we did. We're kind of at the area that I would be looking for on a bit of a short-term high, actually. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one retrace back down to about $6.80 to $7. Sorry, $7.20 to $6.80 or so. Somewhere around there looks about right to me. Still would probably be long-term bullish on this thing. This is a pretty damn good chart right here. But after making a nice move like this, I like most people, probably going to be looking for a bit of a short-term consolidation at minimum. Looking at the 4-hour right now, I'd probably be looking at a short-term bounce somewhere around 750. I'm not looking for a general continuation of new highs as long as you're closing 4-hour dildos, especially below 830 in this case. If you can start to close above that region, it's going to look really, really good. Okay, cool. All right, man, I'm getting, that the market's fucking hot right now, because if I show my email, you know what I'm getting? I'm getting all these damn emails to like shill these fucking shitcoins. I need to, I need to think about a good legal way to show everyone the insights as to like what people, what like YouTubers are getting paid in order to fucking shill these pieces of shit. But basically, without naming any names, what I can say, I think, without any like blowback, is people will sell their reputations for rather low amounts of money. Now, my channel, which is actually, so my channel is a little bit over 100,000 subscribers now, gets offered about anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000 to shill like, you know, some pretty dog shit projects. So I imagine that channel is bigger than that. They get even more. You know, that's not a lot of money to throw away your reputation, especially with channels with less than that. I can imagine like it's got to be 5,000 or less, which, you know, that's very questionable, very fucking questionable. Be very, very careful, because a lot of the projects that you do see that are being spoken about on the interwebs and whatnot, they're only being spoken about because the creator is being inclined via monetary, you know, reasons to promote it, and they typically get, you know, a payback in that asset, or just a straight up, you know, wire to their account or whatever the fuck it is. So be very, very careful with that. Of course, there's legitimate projects as well. You know, I wouldn't, I'm not going to name any names because I don't really know myself, but whenever I see like an email that basically just talks about like how much money you can make, rather than like, oh, this project has X, Y, and Z, and that's why it's good. And if you're interested in such things, then maybe you could help promote it. It's like, questionable, man. Very fucking questionable, huh? Anyways, what's up, Mr. Argual? Welcome to the cave, sir. Oh, nice one. Nice avatar there too, sir. Looks like you're very much in shape. Fuckro says, hey there, General Krown. Just regular Krown today, just private Krown. Didn't get enough sleep last night, so the rain is not in a great way. Dr. Krown, you do not want him operating on you when he's had less than 8 hours sleep, I can tell you that. Luna, as usual, please, did we get the pullback lower than 46? No, we did not get the pullback lower than 46. We looked at this one earlier, I do believe. Yeah, I do remember this one. I do think that this one still has a little bit more sideways and down to go here, but this is still very, very good. I'm just not bearish on anything like this as long as you're above. I probably said earlier 48.5. I'd even go as far as saying this thing can come down to like 47 or so and still be okay. Anything above there is just higher lows, even on your short-term time frames. So overall, you know, I think I'm just getting into the comment a little bit later, but I still like it, especially as long as you're now above about 47 on a daily closure. So we can probably move up that invalidation from yesterday, which was 46 now to 47, as this one, you know, continues to prove itself, which is good. Anyways, what's up, Matsy? Theta, yeah, let's record this one. I haven't done a Theta one in a long time. Theta, okay. Let's bring it up over here, and you're looking at a 4-hour daily monthly. Okay, don't know if there's a humongous monthly on this one, but we can definitely do a daily and probably even a weekly as well. Here we have Theta versus the dollar, and we have another one of these more prime setups. You know, we kind of see a lot of these similar setups. This one is a little bit more immature in its current format in comparison to a lot of the other coins that we've seen, but you know, I expect that it does fall through alongside the rest of the market. So what do we have right here? We essentially have an accumulation in the format of an ascending triangle on the lows. In fact, if I pull this back on over here, it's going to look a lot more obvious. And we are starting to approach the, well, not necessarily the topside resolution just yet, but the topside resolution for the greater formation here would be a daily closure above 970 or a weekly closure above whatever this level is right here at about 850 or so, 855 if you want to be exact. And then yes, I would be looking at a measure move in line with the 1414 around your May highs actually, which would look really, really good. And you know, personally speaking, we're seeing most things in this market with that similar setup follow through in varying degrees of strength. This one's a little bit on the weaker side because it's a little bit slower. It's okay though. You know, short-term time frames like a 4-hour. Do I think that we come down to 755 or 760? That's completely fine. It's just another higher low. I only get concerned about this thing from a daily perspective if you start to close daily totals below no longer about 680, but now about 715 to 710 or so. Below there, I would start to look at this as a failed setup. Until then, short-term, you know, just sideways and up most likely, or sorry, very, very short-term, probably a little bit of sideways and down into a higher low. Higher term timeframes though, you know, I'd be a lot more excited above these regions over here, looking for quote unquote the big move, if you will. I just want to see what it looks like from a momentum oscillator perspective, just to see if there's any more short-term pressure. And what do we see? Daily stokes remain to the upside as long as above 780. Okay, good. For the short terms, 12-hour will remain to the upside as long as above 770. Okay, also good. Want to see both those conditions fulfilled by end of day. 4-hour will turn back above 845. So again, very short-term timeframes, just a bit of sideways. I'd be looking to the higher-term timeframes to give this one a bit more of an edge in this case. But you know, overall, I'm gonna like it. It is uptrend on all pretty much timeframes right now. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Theta, sir. Nice one, man. Bimmer, what's up, man? There he is. Can you check out Wax P? Sure. Wax P, huh? Great name. Just great name. Wax P on, we can go to any of these exchanges. I just want to see more history. Maybe Bittrex does have the history. Let's see. It does. Hey, good call on that, man. Good call on that. Anyways, you are asking what? You are asking, do I see a giant cup and handle forming on the daily, or do I need my morning coffee? Okay, so is this a cup and handle right here? Okay, so technically speaking, I guess it does fit the bill. It's very fucking sloppy if you're referring to this as your cup portion and this is your handle. If that's the case, then technically no. If you're just talking about this right here with the cup and then this is kind of your handle, that would be a very aggressive handle, but that is actually a good sign. Look, at the end of the day, I really kind of veer away from talking about formations because all formations boil down to essentially trend. And what is a cup and handle? It's basically an uptrend. You know, you put in a low right here, you put in a higher low right here, and then upwards and onwards you go. That it doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. So when people want to always put these fucking names on formations and everything, that's great. It's good to know. You know, you can go to a technical analysis party and talk it up with the boys, which is probably a really fun party to be at. And fair enough, you know, maybe that is for you, maybe it's not for you, but you don't, at least in my opinion, you don't really need to know these things in order to even trade them properly to begin with. It always boils down to trend. In this case right here, what do we have? Well, we do have a series of higher lows. Even this one, this more recent one at about 47.40 is, you know, very aggressive, but that is a good sign. However, I would not call it resolved as long as you're closing daily deltas below about 56 cents in this case. Above there, I do look for this one to continue onwards and forwards. I would not draw a measure move on this one. I would draw a Fibonacci extension, and I would be looking for a short-term move to about 60 cents, very likely a short-term pullback there. And then long-term, this one, you know, long-term, talking, you know, maybe a month or two down the road, this one can actually really run. I suppose. I mean, this is a very good chart over a long period of time. This is actually a very good chart over a long period of time, especially going back to March of this year. Or sorry, not March of this year, but March of 2020, and a very different chart than what we see typically speaking as well. You know, long term on a break of that level, this thing actually can really get moving. So fair enough. Perhaps one to watch, I suppose. But there you go. Hopefully that's helpful. What's up, Miguel? MXC 4 hour in daily fib. Okay, is there a fib to do? Fib, is it there or not? I don't know. Let's see on Coin. There is no fib to do on something that's been around for a very short time like this. I don't know where. It's like I think I should interpret that as like, show me the fucking moon boy targets, baby. There's actually not one to do on this thing. This thing is very uninspiring for what it's worth. It looks to me like it looks to me like an altcoin that's been around for just about half a year. I don't really think there's too much to be doing here, but I would be, for what it's worth, bullish above 4.5 cents. Below 4.5 cents, this one very likely goes into a more prolonged correction down to 3.8, 3.7 or so. Until then, sideways in this area right here is generally good, but and it has, I guess, been in kind of an uptrend, but not the most interesting chart. A little bit too new and not much relevant history here as well. I wouldn't even call like a top side of the range here. I don't think that there really is one, and I don't really have a fib to pull for you either as well. So unfortunately, I can't help you there, sir. Anyway, Sushi Yum Yum says, got my shirt in my mug. Fucking nice, baby. Dude, it's actually really crazy. It would probably be really embarrassing if anyone actually knew me here in Helsinki, but I always wear my own hat and my Bear Jesus sweatshirt. I fucking love it, man. I fucking love my Bear Jesus sweatshirt. I really do. But I abuse the shit out of it by wearing it. So I probably just look like, if someone knew that it was me wearing my own merch, probably just look like a complete douche, fucking douche. But whatever. People don't know, so it's all good. Anyways, hey, no even request, just have a great day. Hey man, you have the best day possible, brother. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that, man. Jonathan Patmo says, Patino, definitely Italian. Can you check out FTM? Yes. Grew up with a lot of Italians and a lot of Irish people where I'm from. So this is Fantom. We've been following this one for a while, and I actually really like this one right here. Okay, let me record. Here we have Fantom symbol FTM versus the dollar. This one was a humongous move over the last couple of weeks, and now taking a little bit of a sideways consolidation here, as we did say was likely. I think it was earlier this week or late last week, and I still do think that it trades a little bit sideways here. But this is a very, very good setup long term, especially as long as 250 holds essentially on a daily closure. Below 250, yes, there's a bit of problems all the way down to about 220 or so. I'd want to come back to it after that. But for right now, as long as you're also in between about 250 and your highs at about 315, it looks like, I am looking at this as a healthy consolidation, very likely leading towards a long-term breakout to the upside, which would be confirmed, which would be validated above about 315 on a daily closure, looking for moves back up towards 360 to basically $4, I guess, long term, talking, weeks, maybe months down the road. Weekly, see what we got here. weekly leads me to believe that this one does trade sideways here for some more time. Daily, oh, actually, I take that back. The daily is very mature here, actually. Daily BBWP has been contracting rather significantly since 27th of October as it hit its all-time high, or yeah, its all-time high right there. I do want to see BBWP turn up alongside a breakout of the 315 range. If that does happen, I would be looking for some pretty significant price action. By contrast to the downside on a closure, I think it was below about 250. While I would be looking for a bounce at about, what was it, $2 or 220? Let me just see. 220. I do think that things would probably come down a little bit further than that over time, maybe down to $2 again. Long term, though, I don't really have any like major bearish takes on this coin, like macro tops here, as long as you're above especially $2. But for right now, a little bit of sideways, and as long as it does hold that range, I am looking at that as generally good. Let's see what Momentum also to say over here, if they kind of agree with that. Look for Stokes to kind of turn up first to give an insight to that, and what do you know? We'll turn up today with any sort of a closure above 266. And even the short-term timeframes are actually going to turn back up above 305. Very interesting right there. Yeah, I mean, I generally like this. The question is, does it come back down and set in like maybe another higher low somewhere around about 268 or 265 region? Potentially, yes. But generally speaking, I do like this probably over the next week or two. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Fantom, sir. Nice one, man. What's up, Kevin fucking one? Good day, sir. Atlas 4-hour FTX entry at 9 cents. Okay, let's see what you did. Have you gotten yourself into a good position or a bad position, sir? Well, you never know until the end. It's like Pandora. No, it's not Pandora's box. It's like Schrodinger's cat. Very new chart here. What did you enter in at? 9 cents? Oh wow, you're fine, man. What do you? You don't need me to tell you that this is a good position. The question is, where do you take profits and whatnot? Well, I don't know what you did to initially get in that position, so hopefully you do have something resembling a strategy. But I don't really have any concerns about this chart as long as it's above 15 cents in this case. Below 15 cents, yeah, it starts to fall apart a bit. I'm sure that we see some bearish divergence here. In fact, we do 1, 2, 3 drives, it looks like. So it probably does spend a little bit of time going sideways here. It might even come with another test towards 15 or 16 cents, but as long as you're above 15 cents on a 4-hour even, I do quite like it. Just depends how kind of long-term you are on this one. Yeah, this one very close to finding a local high rather than not. So I would expect retracements relatively soon, if not sooner rather than later in this case. What's up, Gokon? I appreciate that, man, but no message. So what do we do with this? Philson, where is he? Okay, Philson, we'll do it just for you, man, just because you're one of the OGs of the OGs, sir. All right, are we? Oh, wait. Oh, it's an NFT game. All right, it's a thing, apparently, on FTX. A little bit too new for me to do anything with. If anything, I wouldn't be looking at this as great. Short term, probably looking for a bounce. Would like to see it reclaim about $21 before I look at this as good. Until then, it's a little bit too new to really give any sort of legitimate analysis to. So leave it right there, man. What's up, El Ray Leon? Long Beach in the house, my man. I almost went there for school, for college. Or university, which our university in America is like Europe. After like being in Europe for a while and learning about your education system, it's like it's like European high school. That's how fucking bad our education is. Why do you hate pizza? I have a severe intolerance to heavier carbs like that. So it forces me into the bathroom, and I spend a lot of time on the porcelain throne, which is not fun. And also Elsa does not like cleaning it up as well. So there you go. Having pizza and wine while watching your show. Hey, well, more power to you, man. Just stay safe, sir. Stay safe indeed. Anyways, Gokon's back. Okay, there we go. VRA. Okay, VRA. This is Veracity. This one's popped up quite a few times in the last couple weeks here. I'm curious to see what this one's doing right now. Yeah, so it was popping up because people were probably excited about it. Going for this very impressive run here, and for what it's worth, a very good chart long term. This one even has a little bit more than a year, almost 2 years actually, which is good. Or better than most, I'd say. However, I do suspect that this one does trade sideways here for a while, and I wouldn't mind a move down to about just below 6 cents or so. Let's see, do I have a chart on this one? I do. I think that this is a little bit too aggressive right here, unless you're on the very low term timeframes. I would actually move this down to this area right here, and I look at anything between this region on the daily as good, with a validation of continuation above about 8 cents weekly. Yeah, man. I mean, this one's I do like it long term. I just think that it spends a little more time perhaps within this range. Then again, kind of have the same thing as FTM now, don't we? BBWP is on the floor. We're obviously not above the moving average on this, so I don't think it's a threat of moving like today. But this one, might be a little more mature than what I'm giving it credit for. I would just be cognizant that it could very easily come back down just below 6 cents and still be generally fine. Below 6 cents on a daily, that's where I would be looking for this one to fall apart down to 4.8, 4.5 cent, something like that. Other than that, though, I probably want to see it trade a little more sideways from this range, but that is, good long term at least. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Veracity, sir. All right, Cameron. Yeah, man, it's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good, brother. Oh shit, your dog died today, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's awful, man. Dogs are man best friend, and honestly, what? Or maybe he means doggy coin. In that case, well, it is doggy coin after all. But if it is your dog, man, my condolences, because I know that's not fucking easy, man. The first time that I ever saw my dad cry, the first time was when we actually had to put down one of our dogs. Very, very difficult, man. Never easy, man. So my condolences, sir, if that's indeed what actually happened. Check out Darwinia. Okay. It is a thing. All right, we got Huobi, Poloniex, and Uniswap. This one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be real fucking good. Well, it ain't bad actually. It's breaking above its prior range highs. Yeah, probably do look for this one to trade sideways and up back around 15, 16 cents maybe over the next couple weeks here. Short term does it pull back a little bit more. I would only be concerned about this one on a 4-hour closure below about 8.5 cents. Until then, this one seems to be reaccumulating at a high level. I mean, most charts in this game right now look like this, and I do refer to it as a game consciously, because this is a fucking game. It's a game with financial consequences. There he is, Mr. Gwyn. What's up, brother? Krown went in heavy on LRC. So that's not library credits. Is this Loopring? This Loopring. It is Loopring. Okay, cool. We should actually record one on this. Okay, and what are you looking at, sir? Okay, so you went in heavy at 50 cents. So you're trading at $3 right now. Okay, so phenomenal fucking trading, sir. Jesus Christ. What are you asking me about on this one? You bought the breakout and it went about a 6x above your entry. Not bad at all. 50 cents to $3. I'll take it. You sold 80%. Nice. That's a very mature decision. Not getting too greedy there at 290. Beautiful. Fucking couldn't have done it better. And reinvested it in Bitcoin. So I would like to hear your daily and weekly future targets for LRC. Okay, let's record this one. All right, here we have Loopring, symbol LRC versus the dollar. We've been covering this one for a while now on video, on this stream here, but not recording any videos on it. So this will be the first video on it. We've been pretty bullish on it, especially coming out of this like 50, 60 cent region over here. And we have a member right now, Mr. Gwyn, who absolutely nailed that one. So well done, sir. Anyways. Now that it kind of has hit $3, which is, around psychological even number, and is starting to kind of get into some more short-term top-ish regions, I would be cognizant that we probably do see a local top relatively soon. However, short-term timeframes, even like a 4-hour right here, are actually still trending right now. So with that in mind, I do suspect that it goes for one more higher high, and then very likely does consolidate a little bit lower. This is not to say that it is bearish long-term, just would like to see it put in a bit more of a prolonged consolidation and work its way upwards and onwards from there, as this one did build a, wow, yeah, this is a multi-year base. And I do remember this one from 2017 as well. So you got the big bad breakout way back on over here, above about $1. Anyways, okay, cool. Let's actually see what the measure move off of this is, because this is one gigantic cup and handle, even though I don't necessarily have, even though I don't really like to call out these formations. I'm just curious to see where we're at. Let's see, okay, yeah, we certainly hit it. We certainly hit it in this case. Let's get rid of this. So in this case, I just kind of drop these fibs here, and where's our next major area to be aware of? Let me actually, I can barely see it right there, but I guess if this one really wants to run 350, which is kind of crazy. Let's go down and do a lower term time frame. Come up with something a little bit more reasonable, perhaps. All right, let's come up with this little short term base right here. Yeah, we're at the 1618 right now. So I would be saying that short term, I would be looking for this consolidation a little bit sideways and low, putting in a local high right here. If this condition is met, which is a 4-hour closure below 255. Below there, I do look for this one to retrace down to about $2 even and consolidate lower. Until that happens, I'm looking for sideways and up from here. All higher term timeframes are showing continuation right now, and even the lower term timeframes as well. So I do suspect I would be looking towards the next relevant region is about $3.50. Kind of crazy. So that's why I do kind of hold my tongue in this case. We do see daily BBWP is on the ceiling. So this one's a lot closer to a local high than not. I'd be a lot more careful right now. This is, I don't think that this is the point of like maximal entry. for what it's worth. Let's see what it looks like over here. Yeah, 4 hours going to be up as long as above 266, so that does kind of align with my short-term pivot, and daily's up above $2. Jesus. One very likely does go for one more high, I do think. I guess somewhere in the, Jesus Christ, man, I guess somewhere in the mid threes. Then I'd be looking for a bit of a local high put in there, and then probably works its way sideways and down. You know, wouldn't mind a retest of like 220 to 250 or so long term. And then if we're judging like very long term targets here, as the question wanted to ask, very long term. Now we're talking like, you know, perhaps months down the road after a bit of a consolidation. I guess I would be looking towards $5 to $5.50. Really, really strong right here. Very, very good move on volume as well. I do quite like this one, and it does have a storied history here as well, which is good. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for it. Loopring, sir. Nice. Okay, sweet. Rubbing up the hairs from my own eyeballs. Jason Ferner, hey, thanks, man. I'm glad that you found the neophyte course good. Awesome, man. Yeah, it's very, very basic, very, very basic, but sweet, man. I'm very, very happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that. Cool, awesome. Stetson says OXT USD, please, kind sir. Sure. OXT. And then I need to remind myself to talk about something that I thought was actually kind of funny. Anyways, what do we have right here? Again, another bit of a laggard in this market, but back above about 68.25 cents. I'm looking for this one to retest your April, May highs, and probably onwards and forwards from there. You know, I do look at this as a long form accumulation, not necessarily because of this chart on its own merit, but the majority of the charts within this market kind of have that same sort of setup going on right here. I would really only get bearish on something like this with a daily below about 53 cents in this case. Yeah, I saw someone earlier asking about exchanges. You know, obviously we do have Interactive Brokers, which is like a more legitimate exchange for Americans like myself. If you want to go the Wild Wild West route, I do have the old Femex link in the description below as well. So there you go for the there you go for the daily shill. I do want to talk about something funny with that. So some clever motherfuckers have found a way to like harvest the deposit bonuses. Funny, but be careful, because I think that is probably against their rules. So just be aware of that. I also have to say the obligatory, hey man, if you're not familiar, if you're not experienced with trading, don't fucking leverage trade. You probably shouldn't even be trading at all, just in general, because you don't want to end up like me, man. It's not fucking good. Anyways, yeah, and also be careful with that, because I don't know if they're gonna like pursue anyone who does that, because well, I also don't even know if they can tell, but whatever. Anyways, I'll get off the topic now. That's enough shilling for today, sirs and sirs. Legion 22 says, hey Elsa, I love you. What the fuck? What? You're fired. Ditch the zero and get with the hero. What? No, please stay with me. I love you. HTR 4R, please tell me when we get a pullback for all-time high. Never. Pullbacks are banned, sir. Let's see what we have over here. Yeah, I still like this one long term. Should we record this one? Let me see how many videos we got. Maybe I'll cave in and record a Hathor video. Whatever happened to Rune Chain? Rune Chain, is it? Rune Chain, is it? People like that one as well. Okay, we're on the 10th. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we could do it. Here we have Thor Chain. HTR, Hathor. Yeah, Hathor Chain. Anyways, the question is 4 hour. Please tell me we will get a pullback before all-time high. Sure. Opinion on best entry. Well, I'm not going to do your trades for you, nor is that legal, because that's considered financial advice, sir, which I do not appreciate. Anyways, my bunghole is way too tight in order to go to jail, sir. Anyways, this one, would I be looking for a pullback before all-time highs? Most likely, yes. Well, then again, you are pretty damn close to all-time highs. Do I have a chart for this? No, I don't. Let's do it out. All right, where would I be looking at pullbacks from? Well, if we are going to get a pullback, this would be the area to pullback from. However, all higher term time frames still bullish here, and even the lower term time frames are trending as well. This one just sitting in a higher low right here. Does it come down once again to like 131, 132 region? Perhaps yes, but overall, I don't really have any concerns with this thing as long as you're above, especially 120. I'm bullish on basically all time frames, I suppose. And even 4 hour time frame right here is actually suggesting that it's probably ready sooner rather than later. Looking at a 12 hour, same thing. Yeah, we are working off of very extreme conditions on BBWP, so that's also almost consistent on the daily, but what does it likely align with? I mean, personally speaking, what I think is going to happen is you're going to see a spike around your current highs, somewhere around about 175 to 180, and then very likely put in a local high right there, and then come down somewhere around about 130, maybe even 1.25, and that's probably going to be the next retracement before the next sort of try for new all-time highs. I remain long-term bullish on this thing, however, as long as you're above 120 again. That's the key invalidation point. Weekly is obviously bullish right here and looking for continuation. So higher term timeframes are trending right now. 5 days showing the story as well. So do we get a pullback before all-time highs? I think that this one trades sideways enough from here, to be honest with you. My only concern would be below 120 until that happens. Good. Very, very good, actually. Nice, strong move on the higher term timeframes. And what do we see on momentum oscillators over here? Daily's up as long as above 89 cents. That's looking good for now, you could say. Buy daily is freshly up above 115. Also looking very good for now. And 5-day above 72.5. So all higher term timeframes I really like. Even the shorter term timeframes turning up above 144. So, you know, where would I look for where would I look for on short term continuation of new highs? Hourly closure above 161, and then yeah, I'd be looking for this one to work its way up to 175 to 180. That's the point where I would be looking for potentially a little bit of a short term high. Until then, one of the better charts short term that we've seen actually. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Hathor, sir. Anyways, let me take a sip of this. Lord Henry says, glad to see you're still with Elsa though. Great couple. Take her somewhere warm, maybe a holiday to El Salvador. Is it warm this time of year? We're actually thinking of going back to Dubai. Dubai is like insanely warm at this time of year. It's like 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. And in January, when it's like negative 20 here, it's going to be positive 20 there. That's a different world to me, man. Different world to me. Pretty cool place though. What's up, Nicholas? Can you take a look at Phantasma Soul daily weekly? Okay. All right, I hope there's a daily weekly there, man. I hope there is. Sir, we have a chart that's only been around since July. I don't think there's going to be much of a weekly. I can tell you what you already know. It's fucking bullish right there. That's a technical term for something like this. Continuation right now. I think that this one's very close to a local high, but it's not there just yet. BBWP on the ceiling, but it's not even been around long enough, man. Like, seriously, if we're going to be looking at dailies and weeklies, we want to see more, man, more. But this is good. This is good. And I do expect that you're going to see a continuation move at least to like, what is this, $2.50 or so? 245 to 2.5. Very, very good right there. There's not really much history to be going off of on like a weekly, for example. Daily is actually okay. 12 hours fine. And 4 hours going to be great in this case. And all time frames are trending right now. So I'm looking for continuation from here. It's good. Very, very nice. Let's see. Eric Harrison. What's up, man? Nice name as well. Will you check out CHR? Definitely know that we are rolling right now in this market when I keep on seeing all these cherry swap token. This needs to stop with the fucking food coins. Oh, man! We got our first shitty chart of the day award. Shitcoin police are coming in hot right now, and they just ordered three fucks in your face. Sir, it's bad. When everything else in this market is rallying, everything in this market is fucking rallying right now. This thing does not, sir. What is this thing? This thing has not been invited to the moon. It's been invited to the oh god party. I mean, look at this, man. It only goes down. Like this is the soundtrack of this chart. Still looks like shit on this time frame as well. Wow. This is the real chart too. That's linear scale. Worst chart that we've seen today by far. Worst chart. No question about it. There's absolutely nothing at all whatsoever bullish about this highly esteemed piece of technology as long as you are below 63.5 cents. And even then, pray to fucking Bula Jesus at that point, because this just looks like, doesn't even look like a pump and dump. It just looks like a dump. I don't know, maybe you have some insider information on this thing. Maybe you know the fundamentals of which I know nothing about. And maybe that's giving you some sort of conviction in your investing thesis that makes you believe that this is going to go to the moon and beyond and make you rich beyond your wildest imagination. Perhaps that's true. That is not consistent with the technicals right now, however. And there's zero things bullish about this as long as you're below 65 cents. And even then, be very, very skeptical. Everything in this market, most things in this market at least, are getting free rides to their highs, and most are making new all-time highs. This thing is making new all-time lows. That's not great. You meant CHR? Oh, CHR. Okay, my apologies. Let's try this. What's this? Very good. Very, very good. All right, we got it. We got it. What's up, Crypto Chrissy? Good to see you as well. This is actually very, very good. Very, very good here. So I apologize. I think actually did I get it wrong? No, I got it wrong. Okay, my apologies, man. My apologies. Okay, so that one's on me. I typed in CHE for whatever reason. It's CHR. I'm going to blame the lack of sleep. This is very good. Very, very good. Just set in a higher low right here. I'm looking for this one to retest its highs. 4-hour time frame, set in a higher low. I'm imagining we have hidden bullish evidence down here. We certainly do. Yeah, this is CHR now. And momentum also just pointing northwards. I have nothing bearish to say about this chart as long as you're above 77 cents. Very, 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 very good. Very good. Maybe we can plot some areas of interest to the upside from here, but I guess on a continuation drive, I'm looking towards, a little bit over a buck $1.05, maybe in as much as 114, 115. I would be cognizant of local highs right there, though this one is pretty mature in this rally. I think it's got one more push, however, and be aware of the invalidation because if it does hit that, it's going to look kind of nasty. But for right now, very, very good, actually. And again, my apologies on that one. What's up, Hubris to God? EQZ on Kcoin 4-hour daily. You don't need to use all capitals as well. I feel like I'm being yelled at right now. Maybe I deserve it after that great fuck up right there. EQZ. This is another new one for me. Equalizer. Oh, now we have a shit coin of a chart, but look, most altcoin charts look some variation of this, and that most of them are pulling through. One's probably going to be the same thing as well, and apparently I've charted out before here too. I guess I'd have to be bullish on it. Again, more market analysis rather than individual stick analysis. I always hate charts that do shit like this, but look, if it's a pump and dump, this is kind of the area that I guess you would pump from if that's any consolidation. But bullish as long as you're above about 50 cents on a daily. And until then, I wouldn't get too excited about this thing as long as you're below about 70.5 cents. Above 70.5 cents, I would be looking for this one to retest your August highs and probably, trades a little bit above there over time as well. Most things in this market get a free ride like that, but very abysmal chart for a long time here. Very, very abysmal. So it is relatively weak, but yeah, fair enough. Chess Champion 94 says, should I go all in on Walton Chain USD? So you want me to get banned from YouTube? Because I know exactly where you're going with this one. I know exactly where you're going with this shit. Walton Chain, the Chinese Ethereum. I think it was, or maybe that was in whatever the fuck it is. Like, why would a Chinese person name their coin fucking Walton Coin? Look, I'm not going to say anything racist here, okay? But there are certain words in the Finnish language that I just cannot say because I was born an American and my tongue is not equipped to handle that. And there are other cultures out there that would have difficulty with the word Walton. And and look, there's nothing. At least, okay, if there is something wrong with that, if you do have something to say about that, then why is this accent not fucking racist as well? You don't think that you can talk in a British accent, talk about fucking tea and crumpets, and that ain't an issue?
But you're talking about the Walton Chain like this, and very big issue.
Look, it's my British accent sounds like Gordon Ramsay. That's exactly what I'm going for. Sexy and badass. Terrible. Easily the worst chart that we've seen today. The reason why it's the worst chart that we've seen today is because it's been all the way since 2017, 2018, just straight down, baby. Straight fucking down. It's not in a blue sky breakout. It's in a black hole breakdown. Now, even pieces of shit like this, and I'm talking about the coin here, not anything behind it, probably get to move a little bit to the upside as well, but I don't know, man. I'd be surprised to see this thing back above about 150. But then again, the scams pump the hardest. Sorry, I shouldn't call it a scam, but this chart is a rug pull, man. That's what it looks like to me. Anyways, what else do we have over here? Oh, you noticed. Tell me about Sunday on the 6-hour and 24 Cebu play. Hey, I understand that. I actually took French for like 3 years in high school, and I know about that much. Sunday. Okay, so this is another food token, I guess. Nothing's popping up here, man. So I don't know the ticker for it. So if you could actually tag Elsa with the ticker for it, because if I just type it in there, nothing's popping up, which is not a good sign. And I need to take another sip of this because those damn voices get my throat going. What's up, Crypto Fundamentals? There he is. Looks like a water slide, exactly. Looks like a water slide of your money leaving your account. Is what it looks like, man. We're funneling it from the early investors into all of the late investors, we'll say. Okay, there we go. That good old Finnish water helps quite a fair bit. Yeah, man, just tag Elsa with the ticker for Sunday. I know that it is like a food token Sunday swap probably, but I can't bring it up right now, unfortunately. Morilla Design says, any thoughts on Jasmy over the next few days? Okay, let's try it out. I remember we looked at this one last week. I forget what it looked like though. Jasmy coin. Okay, it's on Coinbase too, but I guess they list everything. This is fine right here. We got a slew of higher lows, 1, 2, 3. We got a bit of an ascending triangle going on as well, so it is a reaccumulation. It's a very young chart, but as long as you're above this $20, not $20, but 20-cent pivot right here, kind of have to like it, I suppose, looking for a move back to the top side of the range, and I'd get a little more excited above about, what is it, 25.80 or so for a retest of your highs. Other than that, I don't really have an opinion on something like this. It's way too new, and obviously below 20 cents is going to be big problems on this, but for now, you know, it's the right market environment for a lot of these things, just in general. Let's see. Kurt Rodriguez says, Baby Kate. Baby Kate? What's that? It sounds, yeah, it does sound like a stripper name. Baby, let's see. Baby Cat? You mean Baby Cat, not Baby Kate? I'm gonna guess it's this. Okay, man, this market's gone too deep. Way too new, man. It's been around for a day. No, it's been we have a problem here with this chart, man. It's literally zero, but I don't know if that's one that you're actually looking at. Donald Woodward says, love the background laugh. Lamo. Yes, I hope. I think that means you, sir. I think that means you. Finally, people are making. It's me, sir. Phil Birch, and thank you for that, man. Phil Birchfield says, hey, man, thank you for that as well, sir. Ethereum, yeah, let's do an Ethereum one. We didn't do this one at all yesterday. No one cared about Ethereum as it made new all-time highs. Oh well, fair enough. I guess it wasn't enough. Let's go over here. Let's see what we got, and we should certainly record this one as well. Okay, beautiful. Here we have Ethereum versus the dollar, and what do we have? Well, we have a beautiful uptrend here, pretty much on all time frames, of course. The question is, though, or at least I imagine the question is, are we going to correct a little bit further down before more continuation to the upside, or is this one just straight moonshot from here and beyond? Well, in this case, I do want to reference the Trollander bands on the higher term time frames. Obviously, all the very high term time frames still very, very good here, but I would say that you know, trend continuation, especially with the daily closure above about 48.50, that's not very helpful because, you know, that's pretty much new all-time highs anyways. So let's see if we can come up with anything a little bit more relatable in this case. Maybe a 12 hour is going to give us a little bit more. No, not necessarily. 4 hour, are we putting in higher lows right here? If we are, I'd expect to see hidden bullish evidence. We do not have that right now, actually. So I do suspect that there is a threat that this one could come a little bit lower, somewhere around 4620 to 4600 even. I still like this chart though, and I have nothing bad to say about it, even on the short-term timeframes, as long as you remain above that pivot. Below 4600, yes, problems, and I would be looking for this one to fall back down well below 4500 if that were the case. All other higher term timeframes are obviously, you know, BAF, bullish as fuck, if you will. And the daily is still looking for volatility expansion. I mean, it is, this is why the moving average on this is so important. Until you get a positive slope, preferably for like a close or two, with BBWP actually above it, I'm not really looking at it as like the move, so to speak, and we have yet to actually get that on this particular chart. So I do really like this still. Daily RSI is very constructive in the bullish control zone. I still like this. No bearish divergences just yet. So I'm inclined to say this one does work its way sideways and up from here. Buy daily is very, very good. Closure later today as well. 5-day closing tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time is looking also rather powerful on increasing volatility, which we have seen a few other times on this time frame in the past, leading up into these, you know, major macro moves. You know, we're talking about like the last one, for example, is coming out of this space right here for a almost 200% move, about 170% off the lows, and then this one over here about 480% before even a short-term correction, which barely even was that. It barely even tested you, which is kind of crazy. Ooh, coffee. Apologies. So I would be bullish on all the higher term timeframes for what it's worth right now, assuming that even the 4 hour does not hit that invalidation condition. Looking at short term time frame momentum also is right here. 4 hour turns back up above 48. Okay, interesting. 12 hour is turning down below 47.80. Okay, that's a little bit more on the short term downside. And daily remains with its upside posture above 46.75. Now, of course, these can stay there on those timeframes for a while, as they have in the past. This is still, you know, somewhat constructive. Let's see what the buy daily looks like. Yeah, starting to be a little bit more under pressure here. 4710, the magical number. And then obviously the 5 day is 4400. So not in any major concern just yet. The problem with something like this is that if you do start to see it turn down, it's going to turn down very, very fast because that volatility expansion is direction neutral. And well, if you see this thing break below about 46, that's going to be problem city, I do believe. But until then, I suppose I I suppose I am still bullish on this thing, or at least bullishly inclined. I'm just not really seeing what I want to see on the lower term timeframes to make me believe that this is the next higher low just yet. We go over here to the very high term timeframes, like the monthly. Obviously, I'm very bullish on this. There's, at least in my opinion, no reason not to be. Trading above the top side Toronto bands is, well, usually long-term continuation, as you saw over here for this like massive move. And this was actually even coming after, you know, an initial pretty damn big move. And that was another 750% in your face. And then same thing over here on this break above, or about 530%. And then we recently regained it last month on the October closure. So as long as that condition is met, I'm long-term bullish on this thing, looking for significantly new highs. In this case, you know, I'd still be looking at long-term targets, I suppose. If I can bring up the right chart, that would be really good. Long-term targets somewhere around about 54.40, which is also a measure move coming out of the prior macro base, which is also the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. So all of this I do like. Just I would expect to see, you know, the hourly's put in a bit of a low here, obviously, but I don't look for the hourly to get this one right. The buy hourly is actually looking pretty good for a nice little local low right here. And the 4 hours is really the one that I want to see. Where would I be a lot more comfortable with this one in the short-term time frame as well? In this case, I want to see a 4-hour closure back above about 4,800. If you can do that, I would be looking for continuation, new all-time highs sooner rather than later, with, I guess, a long-term target still of 54 or 5,500. It's probably gonna be stops along the way. This one's, you know, just been pretty much straight up and very constructive on the 55 right there, sitting in all of its higher lows. The question to me is, do we come down there for another higher low or not? So I think I'll hold off on saying anything more. Other than that, you know, if I were going to look for that next move down to 4,600, I suppose I would look at that as actionable with a buy hourly closure below about 4,670 in this case. Until then, short-term timeframes are, you know, showing more short-term upside for what it's worth. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go. But that one is getting a little bit more intense, I would say. Mr. D, there he is. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get up to 100%. That'd be sweet. I do really appreciate that. We got 770 on the board right now. This is looking good, and we got 1,200 people watching. Still pretty damn good, man. And I do appreciate that, man. Really, like it actually really does help the channel, and it's nice to see it actually organically happen as well, man. I don't really like to tell people to like and subscribe because I don't know, man. It's like, look, if you need to be told to like and subscribe the video by me, it's like you probably. Well, you probably don't care that much, in which case you probably shouldn't. In which case you probably shouldn't. All good. Anyways, what's up, Zane? I see you there, but no message, so we will move on to Mr. D again. Mover. All right, hey, Krown, held mover 375 till now. I didn't target point FML. Oh boy, we have a shitcoin, or I don't even know if this one's a shitcoin, but that is too new. Hold on. We certainly had a better looking chart on this one the other day. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so what you held it till 375 FML. I actually still don't hate this chart, but it is going to be in danger of losing its good formations going on right here today, actually. So if you do see today close below about 355, that is going to be very problematic and very likely imply, you know, greater moves to the downside, somewhere around about 320, maybe even $300 base. But for right now, I do still think that this one's still technically okay. It's just sloppy. 12 hours looking a lot more corrective. In fact, the 12 hour does say breakdown. The 12 hour says the front run the breakdown. Full hour, I do think that this one still has a chance to maybe put in another low right here. So it just depends how conservative or aggressive you are. But I like to stay away from charts like this. One, it's too new, and two, you know, what do we have going on right here? I mean, if you're looking at the greater scale of things, if you're on the higher term timeframes, which doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of history, but I guess just enough for this demonstration, you got obviously your top end region right here at about 486. I mean, obviously you already know that. That's not very helpful. You got your median of the range right here at about basically where we're at right now, 355. And below there, you got problems all the way down to about 300 to 320 or so. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for that one, man. But don't get too greedy on these things, man. The market's being very generous. The market's being very generous, but no need. Crypto Talk says, sir, missed Kate. Don't worry. Bye, baby Kate. Okay. Sounds like a marketing ploy. Nice one, man. Anyways, Eric Perkins says, I sold my clothes and bought Keeper K3PR 4 hour daily. Okay. Oops, wrong tab. K3PR. Not on TradingView, unfortunately. Maybe I'll try to put it in. Okay, it is. No. It's not. Unless if it's Keeper DAO, but I don't think that's what it is. Yeah, because it's K3PR. Unfortunately, man, it looks like TradingView does not have it, sir. So we'll have to loop back on that, or circle back on that. What did she say? I don't know. Anyways, Zane Storm says Phil USD. Okay, so this one was super popular earlier this year for a long time. Let's see what it's doing now. Yeah, we haven't heard about it for a long time because it's been doing this for a long time now, and definitely a laggard here. Definitely a laggard in this market, but you got the same setup that we've seen a million times by now with this weekly, likely going through an accumulation sum like this. Just hard to get excited about until you're back above about 114 region. Short term, would start to look pretty damn good above 83.5, but a laggard, so kind of relatively weak. Immediate and short term. I don't know what immediate or immediate. Okay, so you mean like an hourly? It would be much better if you specify what time frame you're looking at, is because I don't know if that's relevant to you or not, but I guess it's okay as long as you're above 65, 75. Below 65, especially, I'd probably be looking for this one to correct down to like 62, 63 or so, I suppose. But 4 hour, again, it's just, to me, this reads like an illiquid shitcoin, so it's probably working its way sideways enough from here. It just doesn't look as obvious as some of the other charts, and again, a laggard, like relatively weak. Let's see. Man, there's a lot of people asking about Baby Kate coin. Baby Kate. Wait, were we able to pull this one up? Yeah, we did. This thing. No, this is Baby Cat. Look, there ain't no Baby Kate that I can pull up here. So either it's way too new, and based off the name, I'm going to guess that it is a strong candidate for a Mimi shitcoin token, which is cool. If that's your game. It's not really mine, and if it's way too new, then I wouldn't have a good opinion on it anyways that you'd be interested in hearing. So unfortunately, I can't pull it up, or at least I don't know the ticker, certainly. So yeah. It's interesting though. 3 people have asked about that one already today. Huh. I wonder what's up there. Jack Jansen says 1 USD for our daily. Sure. So this is Harmony. This one, I think was looking pretty damn interesting earlier this week. Is that right? Is my thought process correct? Yes, it is. Yeah, and we're still holding the range. This is good. Did I record on this one already? Maybe not. But it looks familiar. It looks very similar to maybe Theta it was. Anyways, here we have Harmony, symbol ONE versus the dollar, and still holding the range that I believe we were looking at over the past couple of days here, which is good as long as it's above about 27.5 cents on a daily closure. Below there, I would be looking for a bit more of a correction down to about 24 to 23 cents. Until that happens, though, as long as it remains within this range, that is generally going to be considered healthy. And with a resolution above the top side of the range at about 34.5 cents, I would be looking for a target somewhere just shy of about 43 cents. In this case, that would be the measure move. Short-term timeframes, not really getting too much from this. Do we set in a low right here? Does it come down a little bit more towards 29 cents or so? I don't have a strong opinion right there. Short-term timeframes are not really giving me too much. I'd be looking at the daily range in this case, as it's very, very conclusive. So yeah, generally speaking though, I'm gonna like a chart like this. It moves up and to the right, and that's a good sign in my experience. So my question is, are we like ready sooner rather than later here? And with BBWP contracting, I do think that BBWP will kind of stay on the floor here for a bit of time before this one does go for the move, if you will. And of course, you do break to the downside. Well, that's going to be pretty nasty unraveling. But for right now, I respect the trend, of course. And well, the trend can be your very best friend if you just let it be, as we like to say. So there you go. And hopefully that was helpful for Harmony. Let's see. Thank you for that, Simone, John, but no message. Oh, well, Melvin, yep, we got LRC, so all good there. I even recorded it, so we'll put up a video a little bit later. And you wrote it from 43 cents, so you got an even better entry than Sebastian Gwynn over there. God damn, man. Still pretty fucking good, though. Man, powerful. Yano Flies says, can we look at Rune? Okay, so someone is asking about Rune. Okay, let's see where this one's at. See where it's at. Yeah, okay, now I understand. Well, no, it really ain't, I'm surprised that there's not more interest in this thing. Anyways, Rune Chain right here, 4 hour and 12 hour plays, and if you're feeling generous, no, man, we have to keep it to 1, man. We have to have a very stringent rule with that. I do apologize. I know it's, I know if maybe you're new here, you just didn't know, but we have to like really be strict about that, as well as like the overall timing of these streams too. Anyways, 12 hours specifically, okay. I would be looking for higher lows, actually very close to where we're at right now, $12.5. I would also simultaneously say this one has big problems. Okay, let me retry it for this time frame specifically. I'd say big problems below about 1170 in this case, but I'm not necessarily looking for that to happen. Just if that did happen, that would be my validation. Then again, the daily could easily come down around there. Just don't want to see a closure down below there. I'd actually be a little more generous on this range here, just because your first retest of your prior high is going to be a pullback, almost all, very, 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 very likely, and that's what we're getting right now. Question is, do we try for a higher low here? Do we come down to about 11.5, get a wick down there, and then close back above $12 or so? If that happens, good. I do like to set up long term for what it's worth. Just short term corrective, it looks like to me. Full hour. We see anything resembling a bit of a low being put in right here? Not yet, no. So I would keep the door open for another drop a little bit lower, but still long term very good as long as you're above 1150. And of course, where to get very excited about this thing? Well, basically back above last week's high would look extremely good long term. Just short term a bit more corrective, and be aware of the invalidation point, because as long as it's above there, I'm generally going to be bullish on it long term. Just going to take its time, I imagine here. I don't think it's going to be moving anytime soon, to be fair. Cool. Let's see. We got Chris S. He's looking at gold versus Bitcoin. Okay. All right. Gold BTC. All right. I guess you can actually trade this pair. That's cool. Wow. Gold's getting absolutely wrecked versus Bitcoin. Jesus Christ. That looks atrocious. Any thoughts on bottom targets on the monthly? Okay. So just like when something's in a blue sky breakout, when something is just making new all-time lows after new all-time lows, you don't want to be the first person to try to buy the low. At best, I'd be looking at like monthly bullish divergence and in at least 3 drives. And in this case, we don't even have 2 drives, let alone even 1. So I am inclined. I mean, this is continuation right here, if anything. So thoughts on bottoming targets? There is none. This is just continuation for now until it's not. I don't see anything, any signals, any signs of bottoming. For the time being. It's going to take some time, man. We'd have to come back to that maybe around end of year, and maybe there might be something, but for right now, this continuation, it looks like I'd only call a low here if this thing pops back up above about 0.062. Let's see. Man, my eyes are doing all sorts of weird stuff right now. Okay, can I see? That is a little bit squiggly right now. Wonder what's going on. Anyways, let's see. Robert Deroux says, good morning, Krown. Good morning, sir. Please take a look at Sand USD. Sure. All right, let's see. And USD. Okay, and let me just see how many videos I got, because maybe this one's recordable. Nah, probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll leave it right there. That's fine. That's fine. Very good move right here, yes, but similar to a lot of the other charts that we looked at today, I think that this one probably corrects a little bit before giving any sort of potential new runs. Anywhere down around about $2 even is fair game. Short-term time frames like a 4-hour. Short-term time frames like a 4-hour actually look like a little bit of a local low right now. So short-term probably does try for another move back up towards $2.90, $3 perhaps. 4-hour closure above there, and I guess I would be looking for another drive to new highs, but daily says be on a little bit more guard in my opinion. I want to see it work off these extreme conditions here, and does it come with one more wick lower? Perhaps yes. My general opinion though is long-term very bullish as long as you're above $2. This one is, again, very good long term. I mean, just hold to lows, rallies off them. That's constructive, and 5 days actually still bullish right here. So perhaps it actually does have one more new high. Just I wouldn't say it's likely until you do start to close back above about 290. Until then, looking at a sideways range, and that would be good. Let me take another sip of this, man. Hey, what's up, Tiffany Giles? Good morning to you. Thoughts on ETC? I'm thinking it could go the direction of LTC. All right. Usually a bad sign when either one of these, at least in pieces of technologies, are rallying, but let's see. Yeah, I would agree with you. This is just a 4-hour. Yeah, same thing on the daily here as well. I do believe that this one does put in a move somewhere around about 70, somewhere around there. Let's record this one just to get it out of the way. Here we have Ethereum Classic, ETC versus the dollar. And what do we have? We do have the same sort of base that we've seen all across this market. And we do have those, we do have a slew of higher lows on the daily, and I imagine the weekly as well. Yes, indeed, we do. So what does that align with? Very likely looking at a move back around your prior range highs from August, which would be around 72 to 73 bucks. I would get very excited above that region, especially on a weekly closure, as there would be a measured move from that prior base, also in line with the 1414 here at about 100, a little bit above 100 bucks. Should look really, really good long term. And obviously this one's consolidating on new all-time highs, which is, generally going to be a good thing long term as well. There would be an invalidation on something like this, which with the daily closure below about 57 bucks. But for right now, this one's moving out of its prior short-term daily range on volume. All momentum oscillators are bullish right here. Daily Jewel is actually giving another signal, and volatility is expanding. I like it, actually. There you go. Hopefully that was helpful for Ethereum Classic. One of the check the last comment. Okay. My dono, he tried to pull up Keeper, but it didn't come up. Yeah, we if it does come up, KP3R. Okay, KP3R. Okay, this actually is popping up. Okay, so I guess I just had the wrong ticker there. Oh well, all good. Let's try OKX, I guess. Good. Very, very good right there. Let's see. Pull back to where I was before so I don't miss that. Oh Jesus, lost it already. Very, very good right here. Let's see. Maybe we're at one of the major fibs. Getting to the 1414. I guess it could go a little bit more before I would be looking for a bit of a short-term top. But this to me is just like, you know, it's an altcoin. These things can, well, they can do what altcoins do, I guess. I would be willing to call a top below $700 in this case. Until then, I guess I am looking sideways and up from here. I guess towards one more new high, and then very likely does try for a bit of a local high around there. Okay, let me just try to get back to where I was. Where did I leave off? Man, we have a lot of comments today. P2E says, hello, sir. What's up, man? Please forecast the price. There's no such thing as forecasting, sir. There is statistics and probabilities. There is nothing more, nothing less than that. You're looking at IMX on a 15-minute chart for the next days. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. Why are you looking at a fucking 15-minute if you're like trading a few days out, man? You look at a 15-minute when you're trading like an hour or two out. Oh, you gotta love it. And it's been around for a ripe old 5 days. Holy shit. Sir, well, at least it's a 15-minute on a 5-day chart. It is good right here. It's a bit of a range breakout, so I'm probably looking at continuation towards, I don't know, 4.5, maybe 480. But I don't trust charts out of this new, man, and it would have problems below $4, so there's an invalidation right there. But for right now, looks like a breakout. Other than that, man, if you're looking at like the next few days, you want to be pulling up a higher term time frame chart, and this is the daily, which is completely not relevant, unfortunately, as it's only been around for 5 days. Actually, less than 5 days, technically speaking. What's up, KMK? SLP. Okay, so this is the Axie's reward token, something like that. Yeah, smooth love potion. Terrible, really bad. But do we have a higher low right here? Yeah, we have one higher low right here. We have potentially next higher low right here. I'd get rather excited about this thing for a little bit of a pump phase back above about 9.7 cent, and probably looking at moves towards. Let's see. Let me just. Where is my, not my brush, but my rectangles, my blue boxes of peace and prosperity. I'll be looking at a move somewhere around here if that were to happen. Until then, you know, I'm never going to be a humongous fan of a chart like this. But, you know, you got your higher lows, and most things in this market are, you know, getting kind of free rides right now. So kind of have to respect it a bit there. Hopefully that was helpful. And there you go, sir. Nice one. What else do we got? Jack Asman. Hey, what's up, Jack? Ethereum Bitcoin. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Let's see where this one's at. So I imagine this one should be pulling back pretty heftily here. That's going to be having difficulty keeping a pace with Bitcoin. So we did get the bounce on the area that we looked for yesterday, 7 million Satoshis, but is it just a bounce or not, or more? Is it more than a bounce? Is it more than a feeling? I do think that it has a little bit more on this. Actually kind of struggling with this one, to be honest with you. I'm still going to like all the higher term timeframes, obviously. Question is, do we correct lower? Biweekly says if we do, looking at around 6.9, but that should be another low area. And that'd actually be around the 55 on the daily as well. I do think that there could be still one more drive to the downside at like 6.9. I'd only get bearish on this thing with a daily below 6.9. Until then, technically speaking, it is just another higher low. Short-term timeframes, we are going to see some potential phantom div if we do close here or higher. And we actually got an inverted head and shoulders on 4-hour RSI, which I trust a lot more than on price action as well. If that does complete, which you just need to see a move back up about 717, I would be looking for another retest of about 725 to 726 region, and that's going to look a lot better for the short term. If not, if that signal does fail, then I guess I am looking somewhere down around 6.9. But again, always want to be on board as saying long term, I do quite like this chart still. It's just, can it keep pace with Bitcoin or not? I assume if Bitcoin does move upwards and onwards from here, probably not. WestX Productions wants to look at XRP 1 and 4 hour, please. Okay, all right. You asked for it, not me, man. All right. Go to Bitstamp. Let's see. Was it 1 and 4? Yeah, 1 hour and 4 hour. Okay, low term time frames on this one. I guess the question is it setting in a higher low right here or not? No hidden bullish evidence, which is not the best sign. We do have contracting volatility, which is a good sign. What about the hourly? Nope, not gonna have it as well, but short term does look like it wants to pop back up to 1.25, 125.5 or so. Daily, I still like long term. I don't really have any major issues with this chart as long as it closes above 120 higher term timeframes, which you didn't really ask for. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really getting much from the 4 hour right here, to be honest with you. So maybe the buy hourly. I guess if you do start to close below last buy hourly low, I would look for that next move down, and then probably 4 hour tries for a higher low somewhere around about $1.20 or so. Don't want to see a daily closure below there, otherwise it will lose its good signature for the time being. Let's take another. Hey sir, can I ask you for some beautiful Finnish water? Please. Por favor. Adrian Cynic, thank you for that, man. Feel free to have a message as well, though. Mark Harrison says, how's Matic looking in the short term? 2 to 3 days. Okay. Matic. Let's see. Next 2 to 3 days. Corrective short term. I want to see daily BBWP kind of work a little bit lower here. Probably stays there for a little bit of time as well. I still like this chart as long as you're above about, what is it, 165 in this case. Question is, where do we try for this next higher low? 12 hours says not here. 4 hours says short term, yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Short term, I would be looking for a little bit of a rally, but if you're just talking about the next few days, just corrective still. Not really anything too interesting short term as long as you're between, Jesus, too many lines. We only need 2 lines right now between this area and this area right here. You know, this is good overall, but I just suspect that it, you know, spends a little more time there. Big problems below 165, however, I should denote. Let's see. You mentioned a pullback to 175. It tapped 176 earlier today. Yeah. And I would be looking for a bounce off that region on the short-term timeframes, but if you're specifically asking over the next few days, I don't think that means all that much. Above here, above $2, that means something. Below 165, that means something. Until then, not really much, man. What's up, Christina? Sending good vibes from Canada. Nice. Must be the only place that's colder than Finland. When you use Fib trend extensions tool, do you place it on cycle macro highs, lows, on recent trend major highs? Depends what I'm doing. So it actually doesn't necessarily come on those. It comes off of consolidations for the most part. However, there are times to use it off of trend as well. It just depends what you're trying to do. So fibs are very, very, very versatile. If you actually listen to the podcast that I had with Swanee over the weekend, he uses them completely different than me in a very sophisticated way, and he's very, very good with them, extremely good with them, one of the best with them in my opinion. But I use them in a completely different way. So there is a right or wrong way to do them, but it comes down to what you're trying to do, right? So when I'm doing the consolidations, I want to see like what the target is from those consolidations. If you're doing it from like a trend-based one, then you're probably just looking for like, you know, short-term continuation moves. So it's nuanced there. I don't really have like a specific answer for you. You'd have to kind of state more what your actual strategy is and why you're using them. Like you shouldn't just use them because as well. Anyway, so does it depend on trading time frame? It's on log. Well, if you're looking like on these like very new assets, then yeah, you probably want to have log scale ticked on. But Bibbo would, Swanee would disagree with me on that. And his way certainly works for him, and my way, you know, has been pretty damn good. We're getting like these, you know, all-time high moves, for example. So again, it really depends on what you're trying to do. What's up, Josh? Appreciate that as well, man. But feel free to have a message, of course. Mr. Crypto Alien, there he is. God damn it. I'm tardy once again. All good, man. You're here. I would request a coin, but you may have already charted it. FYI, don't do coke while traveling in warp speed. Much love. How does that even work, man? I hope you stay safe out there, wherever you are from, my interdimensional friend, sir. Simply Gain says SLP. Yep, we already got that one. I do think that it is building a bit of a bottoming base. Yeah, I would agree. Just, you know, following the higher lows right there. It's still got a little bit more time to go, but it's okay. It's okay, at least. Okay, there he is. Adrian's back. Thanks, man. Best, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I really like working with Elio. It's definitely very insightful because his channel is like obviously infinitely bigger than this one, so I get to learn a lot more about the YouTube side of things, and then also like because he has a team. Like you have to understand, on these streams, it's just me and Elsa basically, you know, and we got our mod support as well, obviously. But it's basically just us. But like Elio has like a full team. BitBoy has a full team. Like all of these guys have like full teams that you might not be aware of. Like BitBoy had like fucking 10 people behind this that it looked like. I think Elio has maybe like 5 or 6. Like it's like a legitimate thing. So I get to learn a lot about that. Anyways, you're looking at TLM. Cool. I've got some good shekels on this one. All right. Let's see. Well, let's see what it's doing. Okay. TLM. Alien Worlds. Following up Crypto Alien right there. Yeah, I mean, again, same sort of chart that we see across the, across the crypto sphere. Something like this is going on. I think that prior one was just a little bit more experimental, but overall, I'm not going to hate it. It's not that I'm not going to hate it. It's just I'm going to like it as long as it's above about a quarter in this case. It does remain with its short-term breakout and holds the higher lows, and probably looking at a move back around your August highs. Kind of hard to get excited as long as you're below there, but above there, yeah, I'm looking towards this blue box, I guess, long-term. And big problems below about 25 cents on a daily. This thing probably falls apart after that, if that were to happen. So yeah. Boon Man, what's up? Hey, sweet, you've been here for a month. Awesome, man. Well, hey, appreciate that. Just a nice positive message. Well, good to meet you, sir, and thank you for that. That's very kind of you. Flavio Armorel says, back for some shitcoin hopium. All right, man. Block log scale showing strong consolidation. Log scale or linear scale is not going to influence the consolidation at all whatsoever. So you're looking at this. If I put it on linear scale, you're looking at this. It's the same thing to me. And the ranges are based off of price, not off of the scale. Anyways, I guess I still look at it as somewhat healthy as long as you're above about 7.5 cents. Does look like it's going to certainly test somewhere down around there. And I believe we said yesterday it was, yeah, and I believe we said the exact same thing yesterday, and I would say the same thing again today. We got a slew of lower highs right here on the short-term time frame, so I'm not looking for this one to like V-bottom out and go back above 9.9 cents. But above there, that's where I would look at this one as good. Consolidation over and ready to roll back again to 13.25, so maybe even beyond. But until then, I would be cognizant that this is actually a distributed pattern right here. If you want to be super exact, do I think that actually plays out? Probably not, but it will play out below 7.5 cents, or very likely to. At that point, I'm looking for a move down somewhere around here at about 6 cents even. Cool. Anyways, all right, sweet. Pablo South says, bonjour, mon ami. Roblox. Okay, one momento, sir. Oh yeah, if we could humbly request that no more chats are sent in. No more super chats, please, because we're not gonna be able to read them. And I feel really bad when people send them in after like the buzzer kind of. But please do not send them in anymore. We won't be able to read them. Roblox, okay. Roblox. Okay. Interesting one. Oh yeah, no. We know this one. We've done this many times. Wow, powerful. I believe we were bullish on this the last time that you asked. However, I could have not have told you this was going to be the result. That is a professional breakout right there. Jesus Christ. This is just continuation. If you're on the very short-term time frames, which I know that you do like, if this one does want to pull back anywhere down to low $100, is completely fine. I just look at that as another higher low. At some point, you will pull back, obviously, but for right now, it is continuation, and probably looking at $110 and some odd change getting hit officially before any sort of potential short-term pullback. And then very bullish long term as long as you remain above about $95 or so. Sweet. Simply Gains. Ace significant level, 13 cents. Okay, so I'm guessing this is the ticker. ACE. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Okay, so a cent. It's called a cent. It trades at 15 cents. It's a scam. What are we looking at right here? We're looking at something like this, but 13 cents flipped on the daily. Let's see. Yeah, I again, back above this range high, 12.5, 13 cents. Yeah, I'd say so. You see the same thing all across the crypto sphere here. Same shit on this one. Just short-term consolidation. And, well, you probably know the rest of it, man. You've been here long enough, sir. Alex OP. Alex, I actually love the video game Alex, man. That VR game was one of the best games of all time. The best video game experience I think I've ever had. Dodo. Okay, well, you asked for it, not me, man. Yeah. It's actually not bad. And again, it's just another variation of these shitcoin charts here, but hard to get excited about as long as below about 229. Is it going to probably pop up and test there and probably even close above there? Everything else in this market kind of is, so kind of have to be biased towards that. But I should offer up an invalidation, which would easily be below 158 on a daily. Big problems below there. Until then, probably sideways and up. And Yeah, the trend's kind of your friend right now. Just sloppy altcoins, man. Sloppy altcoins. Fair enough, though. Anyways, we got Too Fast For You customs. Sweet. Hey, Krown, love from India. Hey, India. Sweet. All right, cool. We actually looked at a bunch of travel stuff from India. Looks like an interesting place, man. XED, exceed me. Okay. On Gate, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull up Gate, but it is on KuCoin apparently. So that's, well, better than nothing. Very, very new here, though. Very, very new here. I don't think I can do too much with this, man. Yeah, daily and 12 hour. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do anything with this, man. Daily, it's only been around for about a little bit more than a week. 12 hour, obviously, going to be less helpful. I can maybe an hourly is going to be okay. Hourly, I'll tell you what you already know. You got your higher lows kind of coming in from this area right here. You know, does it hold 68.5 cent or not? If it does, generally good. If it breaks, generally bad. Probably looking at moves back down to 63, 60, 64 region, but this isn't even the time frame that you're looking for. I can tell you where I get excited about this thing, but again, very, very new. Can't really make too much of this. It'd be above about 85.5 cent or so. Yeah, man. Let's see. Chris S is looking at Zen. Okay, Zen. Man, this one always makes me reminisce of the Misker days. Horizon. All right. Yeah. Hey, Martin. Sorry, man. We just kind of sounded the buzzer on that, man. I do apologize, but we did look at Cardano, I think, earlier today. Daily, weekly for a potential long. Well, I mean, the daily's already broken above its range highs at about $91, so that looks good for me on the daily. Yeah, this one's wiki as all hell, and it's an altcoin, right? But where to get excited about this one? Where's your range highs here on the weekly? It's going to be about 108, so kind of around there right now. Momentum also suggesting that we will, the very least test there, probably break out. At that point, probably looking at moves towards your prior highs and beyond. In this case, I mean, most things in this market are doing that. Obviously, an invalidation below about $89, but for right now, looking decent, I suppose. Let's see. Okay, there he is. Zane is no, I just skipped Pablo again. Sorry, man. Peloton, yeah. Peloton, huh? Peloton on Naz. Wow, this one got absolutely boo-caked. I don't know when I made this chart. It must have been a very long time ago, but well, I apparently have a target from like March all the way down towards 43 and a quarter. Looks like we've hit the first sort of area of that at about 50. Probably gets like a short-term pity bounce there on the hourly if I had to guess. Yeah, it is showing a little bit of activity down there. Some bullish evidence on an hourly, so I think maybe at best it does the upside like 55 and a quarter. Pretty fucking wrecked though, man. Pretty fucking wrecked. I am inclined to say that it probably does reach a little bit lower before it's all said and done. 43 and a quarter. Maybe in the next month or two, but short term a little bit more bouncy than not, I guess. Maybe even does try for a low right there. It'll look more like a short term, or sorry, like a major low if it can start to trade back above about 62, 63 bucks. Bruh, what's up, style? Could you do a deeper dig into EWT? Oh yeah, sorry. Let me get Zane. T-King, sir, these shit coins are not going to be on TradingView. Yeah, T-King is not on TradingView, man. Man, 0 for 2. If it's not on TradingView, that's a pretty bad sign. I mean, look, you can certainly make money on these on these shitcoins, but like TradingView lists a lot of bullshit, and if it's not on there, it's probably a bad sign. Is it a scam? I can't look at the chart, so I can neither confirm nor deny. But not that I could confirm nor deny from a chart, but it'd probably have a shitty chart if it is. I don't know, man. There also scams pump the hardest, to be fair. So. All right, EWT, Energy Web Token. You like this thing, don't you? Kraken, I guess. I do not like this thing, man. This thing is atrocious, considering the market conditions right now. Very ugly. BBWP is on the ground. The question is, are we going to set in a higher low here or not? Momentum oscillators actually would have hidden bullish divergence, so I would say, I give it the benefit of the doubt as long as you're above about $9.5, which you're kind of on right now. Below $9.5 on a daily, I'm looking for big moves to the downside at $8 minimum. To the upside, I mean, where's your last range highs? Hey, man, again, John, dude, I really appreciate that, man, but we do have to be very stringent with cutting off the time here, man. Sorry, we kind of already set off a few warnings. Please. Like, it really makes me feel bad when people put in the super chats, like, after the after the buzzer, and we can't really get to them, but we do have to be stringent about it, and hopefully that is understood. Anyways, hard to get excited about as long as you're below about 1269. Does it bounce from here? Probably yes. Just sloppy. But watch out for 9.5. Below 9.5, big problems. Big fucking problems there. Not really. I imagine there's not much of a weekly to look at here as you requested. Yeah, not much, man. 4 hour, same thing. 4 hours, a lot more on the bearish side. Just put in some hidden bearish evidence, so this thing actually might break. It is very weak, relatively weak, certainly. Shelly, what's up, Shelly? Algo, okay, sweet. Hey, awesome. Our neighbor from Estonia. Algo, all right, sweet. Here we go. Algo, you like this algo round thing, don't you? I remember it was really, really good earlier this year, and actually still pretty good here as well. Yeah. Again, I like it. I like it as long as it's above 180 on a daily, and above about 210. We do have technical targets actually much higher, towards $3.50. So this one's very mature here. BBWP's on the ground. Daily momentum oscillators are more in bullish posturing, especially the Jewel. How much more time does it kind of fill out this area right here? I don't know. It could certainly take maybe into like middle of November. That would be about 75% full, which is statistically when they're most likely to break. But as long as you're above 180 now, good. Especially, and this is very constructive chart long term. One of the better ones, I'd say. One of the better setups. Very, very constructive. What's up, Globy Globy Flies or Globy Files? Files, yes. Track USD. Okay, gotcha. Track USD. Another chart that just going to the moon and beyond, it looks like. Okay, what time frames were we looking at here? Daily, weekly. Okay, weekly, where we at? Weekly looks like continuation. While this thing is very close to putting in a high, I don't think it's going to do it just yet. Again, man, see, I gotta fucking warn you. And also, two, sir, we really can't do it. We really can't do it. Again, I also humbly request that you do not do more than one, because we just can't get through all of them, man. Anyways, actually short term looking pretty damn good right here for another higher low. We would have hidden bullish divergence as well. Just need to see it close back above about 250, and yes, I would be looking for this one to go on another run. $3 would be the short term target, but I don't think that things would stop there. Fucking hell, man, does this thing go to $5 after that? Maybe yes. I do not feel comfortable calling that though. I would get bearish on it, or just looking for deeper retracements below about 155 in this case, looking for big moves down to $1 even until that happens. This one's actually rather constructive right here. Actually pretty good. Pretty damn good. Cool. Stylix here is back. He's looking at GRGN. Man, you love these 2017 dumpster fucking coins. Why? Why? Oh, why, sir? Again, same chart that we've seen a million goddamn times, but just relative. Actually, no, it is not. This one's certainly relatively weak, though. We do have our weekly higher lows. Just want to see it trade above the last weekly swing high, which is 20 and a half cents or so. Probably looking at moves towards your March highs, but this one very, very weak, man. These are relatively weak pieces of shit. And again, I don't say this to you as a person. I say this about this chart, man. You don't need to hold on to pieces of shit like this when it just goes straight down from 2017. This is the real chart. This is garbage. Fucking garbage, man. It has no business being traded. Is it going to go up from here? Probably yes. But you got to be thinking of opportunity cost, in my opinion. And this is just, don't fucking reward these pieces of shit with your money, man. At least that would be my take. Of course, I'm not here to be your financial advisor or anything like that. I'm the furthest thing from it, in fact. I'll just stop on that topic. Lee Yarmelo says, ACH, por favor. All right, we can do that. We can do that, sir. Sir amigo, senor, actually. Who I'll be, perhaps. It's going to be the one to go to. And you do not have time frames. No! Yeah, it's looking constructive right here. Got your higher low on bullish above about 8.25. Would look a lot better for an actual new all-time high, or at least retesting per all-time highs above 12 cents. But, it's working its way there. Generally pretty good. Momentum also is more in the bullish posture right there. Short-term time frame is also uptrending as well. Below about 8.25, I do look for this one to fall back down to the prior range lows, but still good as long as you're above the, as long as you're above the daily range in this case. Alois says sand. We actually already did that one. If I recall, it was pretty damn good. Fuck it, should I just look at him? Damn it. God damn it, sir. Yeah, same thing. Short-term sideways. Might see one more move to the downside, 210 to 2 even, but I'm bullish on this one long-term as long as you're closing dailies above $2. I'd be looking for more sideways on that thing than anything else. Sideways and down a little bit short-term. Jay says, hey, sir, what's up, man? Best to you as well, sir. Mara, yeah, we can do that. We can do that, no problem. This is a Bitcoin miner, so we expect to see it healthy if Bitcoin's going to be healthy, and it certainly is. This one is very, very good, and actually very easy chart right here too. As long as you're above $70, man, this thing has got some more room in the tank. And I'm going to throw out a crazy number right here, but yeah, I'd probably be looking at about 95 to $100. Weekly RSI is telling the story. Multiple droughts of hidden bullish evidence and looking really, really good. Volatility is starting to expand here as well, above 50 percentile. I'd only get bearish on this thing below $70 on a daily closure. Until then, this is good. Very, very nice. Kind of a weird looking chart there. Let's see. Imagine this comment. Matthew Kwan says, for a rich guy, you don't know my finances. You know almost nothing about the world outside America. Please travel more during the bear market. Okay, thank you for your very concerned message, sir. Really appreciate that. You do realize I live in Finland, actually. I wonder if like people read their messages before they post them, like especially the rude messages too. It's like, man, what is? Well, you know what? I hope your day goes better. I'll just put it that way, man. I really hope your day goes better. And yeah, I do have a lot to learn about the outside world. I don't claim to be an expert, but at the same time, I don't claim to be a fucking expert. So I don't really understand the and I don't think that there's a fucking relationship between how much money you have and how much you actually know. I know plenty of people who are rich as fuck who are dumb as hell. Me being one of them. Well, I'm not rich as hell, to be fair as well. But okay. Anyways, I'm retarded. H2O says, can we look at Cardano? Okay. It'd be really helpful if you included the ticker here. Okay, it's KI. All right, it's popping up, so it's all good. Looks like it hit a local high to me. Yeah, BBWP is probably at 95, just under it. Short term, a little bit of sideways and down is what I'd be thinking here. I do like it long term as long as above about 9 cents, but yeah, selling off of the prior retest of your May breakdown region. That is pretty normal. Long term is still good. It's just short term I'll be looking for some sideways and down, and I wouldn't be looking for any sort of, new highs on this rally as long as you're below about 1180. And then yeah, I'm probably looking back around your April highs if that were to happen. But first things first, a little bit of consolidation, I imagine. Good for the soul, sir. EACH, we got that one many a times. So all good there. We looked at Matic as well, Mr. Kunin, which I believe I recorded. If not, it was just about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, we just looked at Cardio Chain, sir. Listen, motherfucker. Rubio says capacity. Okay. Capacity. I can only pull up Bitcoin Ethereum pairings for what it's worth, but Bitcoin pairing is actually pretty damn good. Nice higher low right here. Bullish as long as you're above 2,000, and actually short term looking good as well. Probably looking for a move towards 3850. Actually pretty good. No time frames given though. As always, Mr. Rubio, how dare you? Mr. Nova or Mrs. Nova, who knows? TTK. Okay. Not a crypto, so I'm guessing it's a stock. Can you confirm if it's a crypto or a stock? Because I would not know which one it is here. A lot of exchanges that I'm not too familiar with. Just I know these are German exchanges, obviously, but never really looked at anything in Germany yet, except for their major Boris there. It is a crypto though. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe this works. Nope, that doesn't work as well. So it looks like it is a okay. So if it is a crypto, then I can't pull it up because it's not on TradingView, unfortunately. Carl C says Polkadot. I think we looked at this one earlier. Just double check. No time frames given as usual. Probably looking a little bit sideways and down here, down about $48. But I do like it long term as long as it's above 45.5. Below there, I'd not be so long term. Looking at this one is good, and weekly is obviously still bullish. I'd still be looking somewhere around like $60 over the next few weeks here. Pretty damn good. Of course, not financial advice. Jack Jansen, VRA. We looked at this one earlier. I believe it was sideways, perhaps. The name of the game on this one. Yeah, sideways within this range between about 8 cents and 6 cents. Below 6 cents bad, above 8 cents good. Sorry, man, but we did a little bit more earlier. Mute USD short-term entry. I'm not here to do your trades for you, sir. I can give you an opinion on my thoughts on the chart, but first off, the chart is not even on TradingView except for this one right here. Short-term, I don't know what the fuck that means to you, but I'm just going to go to the hourly. I avoid charts like this, like the plug. This is just garbage. This thing has very low liquidity. You don't need to trade shit like this, man, but I'm guessing maybe like the underlying fundamentals. Fair enough. That's a different game. Short-term, I'm not going to tell you what how to enter in at because I don't know what your fucking strategy is, man. You need your own strategy. I don't know if you're scalping. I don't know if you're trend trading. I don't know what even a short-term time frame means to you. I do like this one, however, as long as you're above 1866. God damn it, man. No, we do not take on interns right now, man. I do appreciate it, and that's very and that's very and it makes me blush, man. It's cool that people actually care, but no, man, not right now. Not right now. You're not an intern, sir. You're our customer support. That's a little bit more than an intern right now. Anyways, Northwest says, could you please do AVAX? Yeah, actually, funnily enough, AVAX is one of the only ones that we have not done today, and it's probably one of the most bullish ones, if I recall properly from earlier. 4 hour, I like the range right here, short term, very, very good as long as you do hold above about 86.70. Below there, I do look for a little bit more of a correction down to about 83, 83 and a half. Until then, sideways when this range is very, very good. Back above about 94 and a half, I'm looking for this one to reach above $100 at that point. I think I had some targets here. Yeah, 102 would be the next area I'd be looking for, and then 106 and a quarter perhaps. It'll look very, very good. Let's see, Algo Gator. So, nice name, by the way. Regret selling into Rally, BitF, 4 hour daily. No, we're not doing 3, man. We're not. I'm sorry, but we're not doing 3. We have to be very stringent about this, and please do understand. Like we can't do fucking 3, man. And please stop, man. Oh, it's all good. Okay, thank God. The real green squared. I appreciate that, man. God damn it, Truco. God damn it. We're still not even at the bottom as well. 4 hour daily. Okay, I'm turning it off, man. I'm turning it off. Like, it's too much. Way too much. Again, I appreciate it. I don't want to sound unappreciative, but we have to, again, we've been saying this for a while now. Please understand our disposition on this, because it does have to be, you know, a little bit more, I think we have to be a little bit more vocal about this, unfortunately. Now, let me put on my fibs right there. There we go. You know, I actually would be looking for a bit of a pullback very soon here. I do think it's got one more drive a little bit higher, perhaps even all the way, perhaps even all the way to $10, actually. This is really fucking good here. I would, however, say that the high is in for the short term if you do trade back down below 770 specifically. Until then, I'm looking for one more drive higher, but this one's like very, very hot right now, so I don't think it has that much more. I think $10 and then very likely does pull back rather heftily. Anyways, hey, appreciate that, Melvin. Thank you very much, man. Awesome. There we go. Very much appreciative of that. Kyroman says too many alt USD charts when Bitcoin is starting to eat up dominance. Yeah, I agree, man. Super BTC. Okay, so this is Elios token. We're going to look at it versus the Bitcoin pairing here. Actually pretty damn good versus the Bitcoin pairing. Did break above the prior major range highs at 2300. Now, short term, is it more pullbacky-ish? Yeah, it is. I'd probably be looking at minimum another move towards 2450. And then if you do start to break that area, I'd be looking more towards about 2130. But as long as you are above on the greater scale, if I can actually pull up the damn daily. Come on, daily. Motherfucker. Already you done goofed on me. No. There we go. Beautiful. Actually, as long as you are above that 2130 region, I am long-term bullish on this, looking for big moves up, man. Long-term, like over the next few weeks, or maybe not few weeks, but a couple months, around end of year, perhaps like 4,000 plus. Very, very good setup, but short-term, just sideways and down. And I agree, man. This is the time to be looking at Bitcoin pairings, just because Bitcoin, like, obviously is kind of stealing the show right now. Des says, hey, could you look at Senso? Much love from Canada. Hey, much love from Finland, sir. Senso, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that worked. All right, fair enough. Cool. Let's see. Okay, weird chart right here, but I think it makes sense. Just taking some time to load there. Short term, very similar to a lot of the other charts. We're looking at a bit of sideways range and probably does test a little bit of downside here. I'd say extremely likely at around 152. However, I would still be like long term looking at this as good as long as you're above about 147. So 152 is, you know, not an issue. Short term time frames like a 4 hour. Yep, showing a little bit more short term sideways and down. So I wouldn't get too excited about this thing as long as above 220 above there. Yeah, very good. Until then, not so much. Or it's not that it's not so much, just not so interesting unless you're a range trader like myself. Trickshot says, hello, Mr. K. What's up, Miss Trickshots? Poke USD on the 1 and 4. Got it. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. And this is the last one of the day. Holy fucking moly, man. We made it. We made it. Holy shit. We made it. And my charts are barely loading now. We done broke trading view. I'd actually be looking for a bounce somewhere right around here on the 4 hour. If you are, yeah, okay, you're just on the 4 and 1 hour. Okay, so we won't address the daily then. Yeah, I'd be looking for a bit of a bounce right here. We would have hidden bullish. No. Do not have hidden bullish evidence if it does put in a low right here. Okay, I would be looking for a short-term bounce right here on both the hourly and 4 hour. However, I am inclined to say that it might have one more drop a little bit lower after that. In fact, did we already get the bounce off this region? Yes, we did. I take back what I just said earlier. I do think that this one trades a little bit lower first. 139 to 140. Tries for a bounce somewhere right around there. And then long term, which I know you didn't ask for, but long term. Well, I think I'll hold off on long term because that's a messy one. And thank you for that, Thammer. Okay, cool. Wow, man. Holy shit. Guys, I really appreciate everyone being here. I always want to first focus on the positive. I do apologize that we have to be a little bit more on the stringent side with the requests and everything. We have to really keep a tight schedule for the end of these streams. So if you do or if you did send in a chat after the 2 hour mark, I apologize, but we do have to be strict about that. So. With that said, I'm gonna be signing off now. Bitcoin's doing Bitcoin things right now, trading a bit sideways. And probably looking for a resolution in the next 36 hours, if I had to guess. I'll probably come up with a shorts video later today if we do see an interesting move. But for right now, just a little bit of sideways within this range is fair game. In short term, I'm actually looking for a move back up somewhere around 67.3 to 674. And I still like all the higher term timeframes on this one. So hopefully that was helpful. We'll be back on tomorrow doing the same thing, same time, same place. Elsa's waving in the background because she loves you today. She doesn't hate you. And I love you as well. Hey, what's up, KGO? There he is, man. There he fucking is. Yeah, we did some Luna. I recorded it, and I'll upload it actually right after this, man. Alrighty, my friends, take care, and hopefully see you very soon.
Christmas dildos moving up and down. They all call him Crypto Krown. You've got to TA to be free. Learn how to surf in the deep Red Sea. Trendlines, average values, RSI. Lift ocean coins to the sky. From distributor into XRP. Oh, there Jesus set us free. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, cause it's the final countdown. Open has the mastermind. Dive into crypto cave and let's go for a ride. The whales are coming very soon, very soon. Up to the moon in the afternoon. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto